Tottenham. Full commentary of that on Sports Extra. It kicks off at 8 o'clock. We'll keep you across all the Scottish Premiership action as well. But Liverpool tonight have Freddie Woodman in goal. His godfather is former Crystal Palace defender Gareth Southgate, of course. He makes his debut for Liverpool tonight against Crystal Palace. We are underway. Crystal Palace play back to their goalkeeper, the Argentine Walter Benitez, who immediately just thumps the ball right down the middle of the pitch. Joe Gomez gets up to win a header for Liverpool. McAllister volleys it away. It's loose inside the Liverpool half. Hoisted up in the air. Sarr tries to control it. Ungamoa gets a first touch, flicks it in field to Chiesa. Will Hughes has gone down holding his head. He jumped for a header in the Liverpool half and he's taken an early knock. So hopefully he's okay, but it does give us time to get through the rest of this Liverpool team. It's going to be really interesting, Stephen, to see how they go. So Calvin Ramsey is playing at right back. He was on loan to Wigan and Kilmarnock last season. He's 22 years old and his last appearances for Liverpool, only 2 of them, came 3 years ago. Milos Kerkez at left back. Joe Gomez alongside Andy Robertson in the centre of defence. Endo, McAllister and 18-year-old Trey Neone making his 8th appearance for the club, only his 4th start for Liverpool tonight in the midfield. Kieran Morrison, 18-year-old Irishman, makes a debut on the right. Ungamoa and Federico Chiesa. And at some point we'll run you through that Liverpool bench as well. But as Stephen was saying before kick-off, none of the big names are on there. And in terms of first-team appearances, I think Cade Gordon is probably the only one who we've really seen getting first-team action for Liverpool. So, you know, it is an opportunity, Stephen. We always say this, don't we, when the team changes, but there's also, I think, a pressure that comes with it playing for Liverpool, given the run they're on at the moment. Yeah, there is, but there's an opportunity to showcase what you can do. Can you play in this pressure? Can you play at Anfield? Can you pull on that Liverpool shirt and show the manager what you're capable of doing, or just leave an impression that is enough for the manager to think, yeah, I'll keep my eye on him for the future? A lot of players have to start their careers within this competition, and that's a pathway into the first team that these guys have to take. Liverpool on the ball inside their own half. Gomez strokes it to his right. Ball is passed out towards that right-hand touchline. Endo involved. So he's to the right of Gomez inside the Liverpool half, and Gomez has almost overrun the ball inside his own half, and Nketiah went sniffing. Half won it off him. Robertson steps in and saves Liverpool in the early stages of this first half, and now they start to build an attack down the right-hand side. McAllister brings it across to Andy Robertson. So Andy Robertson playing at left-sided centre-back. Ball forward to Kerkez, back to Ungamoa. Lovely little jink and dart infield. Looks for the 1-2. Referee gets in the way there. Craig Pawson half-blocked Ungamoa as he made the run forward. The ball is volleyed clear by Crystal Palace. It's 0-0. Yeah, just trying to keep an eye on Liverpool's shape. He's in possession. Endo's dropping into a right of a 3 centre-backs, but then when they squeeze forward, he just then drives into that midfield area, and it's almost like McAllister's being asked to do everything on his own in that central midfield position. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Stephen Warnock with us at Anfield. Endo's little chip ball into the Crystal Palace penalty area. Maxence Lacroix nips in quickly, nods it behind for the first corner of the game. It was Neone chasing it through into the box for Liverpool, so a bright start by this unusual looking Liverpool starting 11. Alexis McAllister receives the applause from the Anfield Road end, the corner of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand as well, as he comes over to take this corner. He flicks the ball up into both hands, and like a golfer placing it down on the tee, very deliberately on the edge of the quadrant here on the far side of the field to us. That red corner flag flapping in the breeze, and McAllister takes 3 or 4 deliberate steps backwards. Ungamoa lurks on the edge of the D for Liverpool. 5 or 6 red shirts inside the penalty area. An away swinger headed away by Sarr. Neatly controlled and passed out to the right-hand side by Morrison. Cross comes in from the right, too close to the goalkeeper Benitez. All in dark grey, leaps high and makes a confident catch with both hands. So 5 changes for Crystal Palace from the 1-0 defeat at Arsenal on Sunday. You'll have heard that in full on 5 Live as part of 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Benitez in goal. JD Canvo, 19-year-old Frenchman, the right-sided centre-back, making a 3rd appearance for the club, having joined in the summer. He plays forward to Munoz. Good strong challenge by Kerkez on Munoz. Kerkez wanted to take the throw. It's actually gone Crystal Palace's way. Canvo, Gehi, Lacroix, the 3 centre-backs. Munoz and Borna Sosa, the wing-backs for Crystal Palace. Will Hughes and Daichi Kamada, the Japanese international, in central midfield. Sarr and Yeremy Pino in behind Eddie Nketiah. Here's Will Hughes, just inside his own half, central position, looking for the run through the middle of Sarr. He's worked it into the channel on the right-hand side. Munoz goes chasing as he always does. Woodman comes out, clears with his left foot for Liverpool. Stephen. Yeah, it's a back three. It really is. And then you've got Ramsey and Kerkez as wing-backs. You've got Trainioni and McAllister in that central midfield position. Chiesa up top on his own, flanked by either side by Ngomoa and Morrison. So it's an interesting formation. He has changed things up. First League Cup goal of the night has come at Molineux. Lee Blakeman.
And it's gone to Chelsea. Wolves 0, Chelsea 1. Wolves failed to clear their lines. It fell to Santos inside the D, shot hard and low to Sarr's bottom left corner. Wolves 0, Chelsea 1.
The road in the Scottish Premiership, Kenny Crawford.
Hibs 0, Rangers 1 after 5 minutes, and it's Danilo's second goal in as many games. Hibs gifted possession to Yusuf Chermiti. He squared the ball to Danilo in a brilliant low finish from the edge of the box into the bottom right hand corner. Hibs 0, Rangers 1.
Morrison's cross into the penalty area for Liverpool, dealt with for now by Crystal Palace. We are 5 minutes into the first half of this last 16 tie in the EFL Cup. Liverpool against Crystal Palace in full here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Ngomoa trying to find a way through for Liverpool. Stop for now. Back it comes to McAllister on the left-hand side. Oliver Glasner not happy about something, giving Daniel Munoz an earful from a distance here. Endo gets on the ball for Liverpool. He's coming back towards his own penalty area. Finds Andy Robertson across to McAllister. McAllister forward to Ngomoa, who started really well. Confident, composed, skillful on the ball. Munoz can't deal with him, dances past him, he's fouled. Free kick for Liverpool.
Such a special talent, he really is. He's just got such confidence and swagger and arrogance in the way that he plays, but in a good way. He just wants the ball and he gets people off the seats.
Ties will definitely get decided tonight. No extra time, straight to penalties if required. Liverpool have won the ball inside the Crystal Palace half. Ngomoa, 17-year-old with the right-footed shot. That is blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Hacked away, but only as far as Kerkez. Kerkez is swinging across into the far post, headed up and over the bar by Kieran Morrison. The Liverpool fans are enjoying the early signs here.
Yeah, it's really positive from Liverpool, and I think Crystal Palace are struggling to come to terms with the formation that Liverpool are playing. So you've got Joe Gomez in the centre, who essentially is picking up Nketiah. Then you've got Endo and Andrew Robertson pushing on Ismail Assar and Yeremy Pino, and then the wing backs, you're just matching them man for man. So at the moment, Palace are struggling to deal with it, and Liverpool are dominating the ball.
Arne Slot has sprung a surprise. 5 defeats in the last 6 games, the last of those at Brentford on Saturday night. Liverpool in Premier League action again this Saturday night, another one of those 8 o'clock kickoffs. They're at home here against Aston Villa, and then we'll be here next Tuesday night. Champions League is back for another round of fixtures, and it's a cracker here at Anfield. It is Liverpool against Real Madrid. Ball forward, intercepted by Palace. They'll play out from their own half. Canvo wide to Munoz. Here's Ismail Assar. He's got a good goal scoring record against Liverpool. He's lost it. McAllister runs away with it down the left, goes down, lies on the ball. Munoz knocks it into McAllister's hand. He was hoping for a free kick, but the free kick actually goes to Liverpool. It's taken quickly, and Andy Robertson, I think, will be enjoying being out there starting the game and trying to guide some of these less experienced players through the occasion. Floated ball over the top, was meant for Ngomoa. It's beyond him, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Crystal Palace. 8.5 minutes played. Liverpool 0, Palace 0.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Crystal Palace settle now into this game. I've been sussed that Liverpool are a 3 at the back and playing with the wing backs, matching them man for man. Takes a little bit of bravery then to get on the ball and shift your man out of position. But we know that Crystal Palace have certainly got players in the high areas that are capable of doing that.
Goalkeeper Benitez for Palace. Again, straight down the middle of the field here. High spinning ball with his right foot. Gomez underneath it. Chested down by Nioni, the 18-year-old for Liverpool. Back to Calvin Ramsey. Red Sox rolled down, looking for Nioni again. Stretches. He's lost the ball. Palace sense an opportunity. Gahey brings it forward. Little pass to his left-hand side. Cross comes in. Gomez leaps high. Powerfully flicks a header away. It falls to the feet of Ngomoa. Quick switch there from right foot to left foot. Beat his man. The pass is then intercepted by Sosa. It goes out for the throw-in to Liverpool. The applause there for another little dash of Ngomoa skill.
Yeah, it's just beautiful footwork, isn't it? The little side to side, left foot to right foot, jinks his way through a couple of players, and then the one thing you will say is he's just got to get that composure at the end of it, complete the next pass, and he got a little bit fortunate that, and then it did take a deflection and went out for a throw-in.
No Mateta tonight for Palace, but Ismail Assar very much a danger man, as he always is. He's been fouled by McAllister. It's about 40 yards from the Liverpool goal in the inside right channel. Not happy with the challenge, grumbling as away as he's sitting down on the floor. Munoz is waiting to take the free kick. I mean, he never seems to get a rest, Daniel Munoz, and I think he seems to run harder than pretty much anyone I ever watched.
The energy he has during a game, I always think, how's he still doing that 80, 90 minutes into the game and overlapping runs? And he almost plays as a high winger, doesn't he, with Ismail Assar going in on that inverted position. Brilliant signing.
I was going to say, they got him for less than 7 million.
It's incredible.
Again, that's just a brilliant, but you were saying it before the game, Stephen, how well Crystal Palace have done in terms of bringing the talent in,
and
the right players.
Yeah, and I wondered what had happened when Dougie Freeman left, whether that would continue, but you look at the signings that they made in the summer and they've done good business. I'm a big fan of Yeremy Pino. I think he's been superb so far. I know it's early days, but you've got to make an impact straight away, and he's done that. Borna
Sosa's into the Palace starting lineup tonight. He's going to take this free kick, the Croatian, another one of the summer signings, in for Tyrick Mitchell tonight. 10 minutes in at Anfield, 0-0. Sosa chips one up towards the far post. Lacroix's on his own, nods it down. Ramsey intercepts it for Liverpool, scrambles the ball away. Will Hughes plays a first-time pass to his left. Here is Pino in the black gloves, just pokes the ball back to Hughes. Kieran Morrison runs towards him, but Hughes has got plenty of time to pass back towards the halfway line and find Munoz. Across to Sosa, wide to Hughes on the left-hand side. Anfield falls silent as Crystal Palace have a bit of possession in this game. Liverpool 0, Palace 0. League Cup last 16 ties tonight. Chelsea already one up at Wolves. Sosa's ball intercepted by Robertson on the edge of the box. Ramsey did well there, got the shout of man on from the Liverpool fans, but he knew Pino was coming, turned away from him. Long ball downfield, and it's intercepted inside that Crystal Palace half. So yeah, Chelsea one up at Wolves. Arsenal Brighton's in full on Sports Extra 2 tonight. Swansea Manchester City, you can hear commentary on Sports Extra 3, and there's been a goal there, Mike Maine.
And Swansea City of the Championship are in front. Take a bow, Gonzalo Franco, edge of the D, right-footed curling shot, just floated over James Trafford into the top right-hand corner. And Swansea, who've played well so far, are in this game. Swansea 1, Manchester City 0.
So that one's on Sports Extra 3. Sars, low ball into the penalty area. Good first touch from Nketiah. Tries to get the shot away on the turn. Liverpool managed to close down the danger. Gomez runs out of defence with the ball. Plays it to the right. Back it comes to Calvin Ramsey, the 22-year-old Scottish right back starting for Liverpool tonight. The ball's hoisted up in the air. It eventually goes out for a Liverpool throw. Right back position, 12.5 minutes played. Liverpool 0, Palace 0.
One of the things I spoke about before the game was having bite in the challenge, and one thing Endo does bring is he brings that to the team. I think Joe Gomez does as well. They like to get tight, they like to be aggressive and just pick the Liverpool fans up there. I think the one thing is that the press now from Crystal Palace, having sussed out Liverpool's backline, is being pretty decent. They're going to have to find different ways out, and now they have found a way out.
Yeah, good vision from McAllister there. Ball was dropping from high, didn't even look to his left-hand side, just worked the volley pass away to the left, and Liverpool trying to get young Ungamoa on the ball as much as they can. He decides to play it infield to Robertson. McAllister again closed down by the white-shirted Palace players. Robertson fires a low pass into the feet of Kirkes. Back it comes to Robertson. Liverpool moving back towards the halfway line, still just inside the Palace half there. Gomez plays it across here to Endo. Endo to Ramsey. Ramsey had to work it out of a tight space there to keep it for Liverpool. Palace have done their job and they've contained Liverpool back inside their own half. Here's Robertson. Robertson forward to McAllister. Next break in play will take you to the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal playing Brighton in the League Cup tonight. Gomez's long ball downfield. Chiesa is beaten in the air. Headers won by Munoz. And now a driving run from the back by Maxence Lacroix. Runs up to the halfway line. Runs out of space in the end. Liverpool keep the ball in play though. And Leone finds McAllister. Liverpool fans think it's opening up for the Argentine. McAllister doesn't release the pass though, stays in the centre circle. Another goal at Molineux, Lee Blakeman.
And Chelsea have a second. Wolves 0, Chelsea 2. Good play down the left this time. Ball into the penalty area, tapped in from no more than a yard out by Tyreek George to make it Wolves 0, Chelsea 2 after 15 minutes, Ali.
Ungamoa's ball back to Nioni. Across it comes to Endo. Little touch from Ramsey. Edge of the box. Tackled by Gahey. Liverpool win it back again. Here's Nioni. Central position 30 yards out. Whips the ball out low to the left-hand side. There's Kirkes. Kirkes back to Robertson. Robertson takes his time. Goes wide to Kirkes again on the left. And Kirkes comes back to Roberts again. Into midfield. McAllister. Nioni. And this time Munoz is able to intercept that ball forward. And Palace start to work it out of their own half. Gomez intercepts that. Back it comes to Andy Robertson. I thought he was going to go back to the goalkeeper there, and I was going to take you to Arsenal. McAllister's caught by Hughes. That is a Liverpool free kick, but the referee's going to play an advantage. We will get to John Southall eventually, but we're going to concentrate on the dancing feet of Ungamoa's curling shot, and I'm very glad we did. It's just missed the target wide of the left-hand post. That was nearly very special, Stephen.
Yeah, he's got such brilliant feet, and I love Munoz because I think he's such a good attacking fullback, but also good in 1v1 situations. He doesn't know which way to play, Ungamoa, at the moment, because he's so comfortable at going outside him or inside. This time he just little step over, draws it into the middle of the park, and then he tries to send it round the far right hand post, and it just doesn't quite have enough. But he is special, he really is.
Right, Arsenal-Brighton, finally, John Southall.
Evening, Ali. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, but two brilliant chances for Brighton. Rooter on the right of the area, denied by the legs of Kepa. Then Shimas through on goal, put it wide of the right-hand post. Really good chance that. Gomez has also smashed one wide for Brighton. It's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0.
Commentary over on Sports Extra 2. Liverpool 0, Palace 0 at Anfield. There's Lacroix. Low pass to Canvo. Canvo straight back to Lacroix inside the centre circle, just inside his own half. Cross to Gahey. Gahey to Sosa. Sosa gets it back from Will Hughes. He's on the move inside the Liverpool half. Gahey's in space on the left-hand side. Crystal Palace keeping it, and Liverpool just sitting off them at the moment. As Crystal Palace attack this goal away to our right in front of the Kop. Kamada turns on the ball. Plays to his left to Gahey. Gahey tries something clever. Little flick chip pass down the inside left channel, and Nketiah makes the run. He's there. Back to Sosa. Sosa heads for the byline. Wins Crystal Palace a corner. Before they take it, let's check in on Martin O'Neill's Celtic at home against Falkirk tonight. Gavin Wallace.
It's a bit quiet 0-0 at the moment. Celtic, you can tell, with devoid of confidence just now. Negrins had half a chance. Arfield had half a chance for the visitors, but it's Celtic 0, Falkirk 0.
So corner for Crystal Palace on the way. 17 minutes into the first half. Liverpool 0, Palace 0. Liverpool 10 times winners of this competition, more than any other club. Crystal Palace having never won it, having never played in the final. And it's their corner, and it's an in-swinger deep to the far post. Lacroix tries to get the header. Kirkes appeals for goal kick. And it goes Liverpool's way, so Freddie Woodman is able to grab the ball and set up for that. St Mirren Hearts in the Scottish Premiership tonight. Jane Lewis.
St Mirren 0, Hearts 0 in this one. Hearts should be ahead. They've certainly had the best chance. A terrific run through Benny Beningbini. He raced through. Lovely ball from Lawrence Shanklin. Played him through. From the angle, though, his shot stayed out. It did really well to get it away, but it stayed out after striking the post. It's 0-0 in this one.
Hearts starting the night top of the table, 25 points. Celtic 17, Hibs 14. Liverpool playing out, and Gomez does enough to get that back to his goalkeeper Woodman, as Nketiah put the pair of them under pressure. Sosa, was that a high foot on him? Well, he's down. And yes, referee says free kick Crystal Palace. 0-0, Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, I don't mind that from Ramsey. He's had a really good start to the game. He's had an indifferent start to his Liverpool career. High hopes when he came in, a couple of low moves, and went to Preston, and I know things didn't quite work out for him, but one thing I'd say is this, maybe the wing-back position really suits him. He's been aggressive in the challenge. He gives away a foul there, but again, that physicality of Liverpool, letting Crystal Palace know they're in a game, making it difficult for them, but Palace have responded well.
Canvo's ball, looking for the run of Munoz, darting in from that right-hand side. It's beyond him. It runs into the arms of Freddie Woodman. Liverpool debut tonight, all in green. Drops the ball at his feet. And Nketiah and Sarr and Pino just stand off him. They're just outside the Liverpool penalty area, and Woodman is very nonchalantly just walking towards them, just knocking the ball gently forward as he does. Andy Robertson takes up station in the left back position, curls the ball forward looking for Chiesa, who's not really been able to get into the game so far. Breaks loose for Sarr. Was that a handball by Robertson? Referee, yes, saw it. Gives the free kick to Crystal Palace, which they take quickly. Munoz to Will Hughes. Hughes, that trusty left boot, actually uses the right one to play the pass out to Sosa on the left-hand side. Back it comes to Kamada. Some of those Palace players start to make runs. Pino is frustrated he doesn't get the ball. Palace go back to Lacroix. Cross to Canvo. Canvo back to Lacroix again, inside the Crystal Palace half. Patient stuff at the moment. Gahey then, more threatening pass forward into the feet of Pino. Holds off Endo, lays it back, now forward to Nketiah. He's up against Gomez, right, a wrestling match between those two. Ramsey steps in for Liverpool, hits the clearance into the shins of Sosa, and that is a throw-in for Liverpool.
Yeah, so comfortable at the back, aren't they, the back three of Crystal Palace, and just picking the right moments to try and feed the ball into the forward players. But I have to say again, Endo and Joe Gomez being aggressive, making sure that they're stepping in, making life difficult. But it's been a fascinating battle so far. Both teams have contributed to this game in different aspects, but Palace were struggling early on, and now they've started to come back in and dominate possession.
Well, Stephen was talking about this before the game. It happens at every single Liverpool game now, and so it should, in memory of Diogo Jota, who they so sadly lost, we so sadly lost during the summer. Spine-tingling stuff as always inside Anfield. The team continue to chase the ball down there on the pitch at the moment. 0-0 against Crystal Palace in this EFL Cup fourth round tie. And Palace have worked it down the right-hand side cleverly, and Sarr absolutely flying away. Robertson's chasing, won't get to him. Cross comes in, Gomez volleys it away. Kamada chases the loose ball, gets there first ahead of young Kieran Morrison, plays it back to Gahey, and Gahey urgently gets it across to Will Hughes. Senses a bit of momentum here for Crystal Palace. Sosa with the early cross, deflected off a Liverpool defender. That was Ramsey. Gahey involved with a 1-2, tried to knock it past Nioni, couldn't collect it the other side. Ramsey is there again for Liverpool. Short cross, a pass across the byline to Nioni, whose clearance didn't get it away for Liverpool. Then Endo steps in and whacks it away. Anywhere will do. Ungamoa jumps for the header. It falls to Kirkes, and Liverpool fans urge their team forward. Ungamoa plays to his right to McAllister, crosses the halfway line. Ungamoa's ball forward will not be collected over on the right-hand side by Kieran Morrison. Palace have it again at the back. So Liverpool 0, Palace 0. Newcastle Spurs underway in the League Cup this evening. Charlie Slater.
It's 0-0, really pacey start to the game. 6 minutes old. Newcastle have enjoyed the best of it so far. Malik Thiaw drawing a save out of Kinski at the back post just a couple of moments ago. Still goalless.
Kilmarnock 0, Aberdeen 1 in the Scottish Premiership. Here's a ball for Chiesa to chase. Knocks it ahead of him with his right thigh. Left-footed shot over the bar. First really clear side of goal for Liverpool. The offside flag was up. It wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a hit and hope from Andrew Robertson. He was almost going into a challenge, and the ball went through to Chiesa. He was on the shoulder of the two centre-backs, Lacroix. And then as he went through, you thought, can he get there? Can he get in front of Cambo? He did, but then he lashes it over the bar. And as you say, Ali, the offside flag did go up, so it wouldn't have counted anyway.
2 goals so far this season for Federico Chiesa, at home against Bournemouth, away against Crystal Palace, the game they lost at Selhurst Park. Started against Southampton in the third round of this competition. 7 substitute appearances in the Premier League. Ungamoa is down at the moment receiving treatment. So Aberdeen 1 up at Kilmarnock. Rangers 1 up at Hibs. And why don't we check in on Arsenal-Brighton, latest in the League Cup tonight. John Southall.
Well, it's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, but Brighton have had the chances. The 2 I told you about last time. Kadioglu's also lobbed one over the bar from the right-hand side, but Arsenal have a corner on the left-hand side, and we know what happens from them. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0.
Yes, it so often does. Swansea, Manchester City. Last we heard, Mike Mane, Swansea in front.
And we're midway through the first half. They are still in front. That Gonzalo Franco, lovely goal, curling to the top right-hand corner after around 12 minutes is still the difference. City have shown an increase in intensity since going behind, but no real challenge yet on Andy Fisher's goal. It is Swansea 1, Manchester City 0.
Midway through the first half at Anfield, Crystal Palace trying to get the game restarted. Craig Pawson wasn't happy with that. Free kick is taken again from inside their own half. Here's Gahey just creeping forward into the Liverpool half. Take you back to Molineux in a second. Commentary of Arsenal, Brighton's over on Sports Extra 2 tonight. Munoz jumps to win a header, attacking position on the right. He's stayed down. Both players are holding their heads. We're going to get another break in play. So let's take you to Molineux. Lee Blakeman is watching Wolves against Chelsea.
Wolves 0, Chelsea 2, but it should be 3 because Gittins has just had a brilliant shot from the edge of the area, hit with power, took a deflection, fell to George, who's already scored 7 yards out, and he put it just wide of Sarr's far post. They should be 3 up, but it's still Wolves 0, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, another stoppage in play here at Anfield. Daniel Munoz, I think, has taken a whack to the mouth. Kirkes is holding the back of his head. Full round of action in the Scottish Premiership tonight as well. Celtic, Falkirk, Gavin Wallace.
5 minutes gone and it's still 0-0 at the moment, though Celtic really started to turn the screw and started to really find their feet. Falkirk, though, hard defending well. 0-0.
Munoz down, flat on his back in front of the cop. Looks like he's in the dentist chair there at the moment, doesn't it, Stephen? I mean the actual dentist chair, not the old Paul Gascoigne Euro 96 dentist chair. And there he is with his sharp, dark goatee, sitting up. He's going to be okay. Game's just lost a little bit of rhythm, hasn't it, last sort of 3 or 4 minutes because of the stoppages?
Yeah, it has, and just needs picking up again, doesn't it? A little bit of pace injected into it. But that'll be also because of the way that Crystal Palace have adjusted to Liverpool dominating the ball earlier on. They've now made it a little bit difficult, and the Anfield crowd have gone a little bit silent.
Yeah, they have at the moment. St Mirren Hearts in the Scottish Premiership tonight, being watched by Jane Lewis.
Yeah, still no goals in this one. St Mirren 0, Hearts 0. Hearts not quite hitting the heights that we've seen in previous games this season, but plenty of possession and a few chances as well. Braga threw himself with a diving header just a few minutes ago from Kizarigas, a brilliant ball in from him. And Stephen Kingsley, who's scored 3 goals from a defender, it's not bad in the league so far this season, had a long range shot as well, well taken care of. So a few chances, they're on the attack, but still no goals in this one, 0-0.
Rangers have ground to make up on the teams above them. They're away at Hibs tonight. Kenny Crawford.
26 minutes gone, it's still Hibs 0, Rangers 1. That goal from Danilo in the 5th minute. He's a striker revived by Danny Rowell. So many injuries, so much bad form, but Danny Rowell's getting the best out of him in the last couple of games. 2 goals in 2 games, but Hibs have been good as well. A couple of shots. Jamie McGrath and Nicky Cadden have tested Butland. It's Hibs 0, Rangers 1.
Perfectly timed then. The bounce around the grounds is completed. 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight. Liverpool 0, Palace 0. Munoz is waiting for the instruction to get back on the field. Liverpool have got the game back underway, playing for a place in the quarterfinals of this competition, and the draw will be made tonight after the Newcastle Spurs game is finished, because that kicked off 15 minutes later than the rest of them. 0-0 at the moment. Commentary of that game is over on Sports Extra. Quick free kick taken by Liverpool. Fabulous ball. That was an Alexander-Arnold special into the feet of Ungamoa. Dancing again, edge of the box, thinks about the shot, back onto the left foot, good pass, finds Chiesa, drives it in at the near post, blocked by Benitez, and out it goes for a throw-in on the left to Liverpool.
Yeah, he's not happy, Chiesa. He felt that the ball was over, hit from Ungamoa, and that's just that little bit of maturity that he needs and just settling himself that last moment. But he's the player that's bringing everything to life. Ungamoa just pushes Chiesa too wide, gets his shot, can't quite get enough purchase on it into that bottom right hand corner.
Coming up to 28 minutes played in the first half. Former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock with us here at Anfield tonight. Munoz jumps again with Kirkes. Those were the two that clashed a couple of moments ago. The ball has come off the Palace player. It's gone out for a throw into Liverpool. Kirkes is just to the right of his manager Arne Slot, who's decked out all in dark clothes this evening. First night for the Thermals tonight, Stephen, I decided.
Certainly is.
Yeah, fresh enough tonight. Clocks have gone back nearly in November time, I think.
Yeah, I've noticed Gorgeous George, our producer, has got a woolly hat on.
Yes.
He's come up north from down south, and he is...
I told you this, didn't I, before the game? The last time he was at Anfield, A, it didn't look like this, and B, Fernando Torres was playing for Liverpool.
Wow, incredible.
That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. He doesn't look a day older as well, does he?
No, that's true. That's true. And he's getting to watch Rio Ungamoa this evening as well, who, as Stephen has said, has been a real shining light for this much changed Liverpool team tonight. Right, first goal of the game at St Mirren tonight. Jane Lewis.
First goal of the game and an absolute cracker. It's gone to the home side. St Mirren 1, Hearts 0. Dan Lundundu gathered the ball just on the edge of the area and just gathered it at his feet, and then just overhead kick, bicycle kick from Lundundu. Absolutely brought the home fans to their feet in this one. Against the run of play, you could argue. Absolutely brilliant goal, remarkable stuff, and St Mirren have gone 1 up in this one.
Right, leaders behind. St Mirren 1, Hearts 0. Celtic and Falkirk goalless. Rangers 1 up at Hibs. Aberdeen 1 up at Kilmarnock. Very quiet inside Anfield at the moment. The game needs a bit of a spark. Liverpool 0, Palace 0. Goal at Celtic I'm hearing now. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, Johnny Kenny has just stuck it away for Celtic. It was kind of recycled 2 or 3 times and played into him. Johnny Kenny was there, and all he had to do was just stick it down really close in. And Celtic now 1-0 to the good.
Here's Pino, low cross for Crystal Palace, bounces off Gomez, comes back to Pino, down by the dead ball line, cuts it back. Hughes hits it well, but straight at Woodman, who makes the save for Liverpool. Gets to his feet quickly, runs out to the edge of the area. Hits a fabulous right-footed clearance straight to Chiesa. What a touch by the Italian. Brings it down. He's then brought down by Canvo. Picks himself up, still going, still dribbling, and eventually runs out of space. And referee Craig Paulson actually decides to bring it back. Was trying to play the advantage. Gives Liverpool the free kick. So many nice little moments there.
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, Jeremy Pino with that lovely run in behind, and then Gomez blocks it, but then Pino's got the presence of mind to pick out Will Hughes on the edge of the box. It was a lovely left-footed strike, and then Woodman straight away spots the run of Chiesa. The distribution, outstanding. The touch, world class from Chiesa to bring it down, and then he's almost crowded out by 3 or 4 players, but then draws the free kick, and now it gives Liverpool an ideal position for Andrew Robertson to whip a ball in.
Ngamo is in a bit of space on the left. Sousa's got that covered. Robertson thought about it. He's not going for that. With his left foot, puts it into the danger zone. Too close to the goalkeeper, Benitez, who comes flying off his line and makes the catch for Crystal Palace. 1 Argentina cap in his career. Walter Benitez, the Crystal Palace goalkeeper in the League Cup tonight. Now 32 years old. Last season was playing his football for PSV Eindhoven.
I've got a question for you. So when the set piece is taken, why do the set piece coaches have to get out the seat? He sat on the bench. I'm not sure of his name, the Liverpool set piece coach. But you think he's up again now, and you think, well, just sit down because you can see it from the front. I never understand it. Very bizarre. Now he's out now because Liverpool are defending a long throw.
And do you think if the set piece goes well, either defensively or in an attacking sense, they sort of stay out there for a little bit, and then if it doesn't, sort of get back to the seat quite quickly?
Very quickly.
14 minutes left in the first half. Liverpool 0, Palace 0. Long throw into the penalty area from Sosa. Robertson wins the header, chases his own clearance. Munoz lofts it high in the air. Pino, great touch with his right foot inside the Liverpool penalty area. Turns Nioni on a sixpence, gets the cross in. Sarr makes a nuisance of himself at the near post, trying to scramble that in from a tight angle. Liverpool have managed to get it away. Another cross comes into their penalty area. Gomez gets a right foot on it. Still Palace come with Sosa on the left-hand side. Another right-footed cross. Gomez is there this time, heads it away. Chiesa chests it down for Ungamoa. Has a lot of space to run into the 17-year-old. Chips a little pass to the left. The touch from Chiesa again. Back heel flick to Kirkes, who immediately gives it back to the Italian. Then it's another little back heel.
We've seen some touches, haven't we?
We have, haven't we?
That touch from Jeremy Pino was fantastic, and then a couple of touches there from Chiesa.
Yeah, I'm hearing chances at Swansea as well. Mike Maino.
And big ones. We should have a second goal in this game. Firstly, Shirky drills one low across the box on the right-hand side. Then a misplace at the back from Manchester City's Abdelkadir Kuzanov. Waddell intercepts through one-on-one, and James Trafford narrowly saves the place shot that was heading for the bottom right-hand corner. 10 minutes just over to half-time. Swansea 1, Manchester City 0.
Robertson's long pass finds Morrison. Kieran Morrison in the penalty area tried to get the cut back there to Chiesa, couldn't find him. Up towards Pino for Palace. He's lost it. Under pressure, he's won the free kick. Liverpool fans infuriated, and rain has come swirling into Anfield under the floodlights this evening. 0-0.
Have you bought your brolly for on the way home?
No. Come up on the train, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, I just mean when you're walking out.
Yeah, no, George is going to look after me, I think.
Yeah. He doesn't need a brolly. He's from London. It doesn't rain there.
12 minutes left. First half. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 0. Playing for a place in the quarter-finals of the League Cup, but I think most importantly for both these teams, just playing for a win tonight. None in 4 for Palace, just 1 in 6 for Liverpool. Robertson volleys it away. 3 centre-backs for Liverpool tonight, Robertson, Gomez and Endo. And so far that's worked okay. Throw in for Kirkes, the Hungarian, into the chest of McAllister. Back to Kirkes, quickly under pressure. He comes back to Robertson. Robertson plays it across to Gomez. Gomez's low pass out to the right, collected by Ramsey. Endo's in space for him behind him in that right back position. Back to the goalkeeper Woodman, closed down quickly, hurried into a left-footed clearance downfield. Ungamoa got a touch. Kirkes is next there. No control on the pass that time, though. It goes into the Palace half and the visitors get the ball again.
I just feel with Kirkes, he's everything's 100 mile an hour at the moment. It's a calmness about him. When he steps in on something, it's like he lashes through it and gets his foot through it. It's not slow himself down going into that.
Sosa doesn't mind an early cross for Palace, and that's a dangerous one. And Gomez, all he could do there was get in the way of it, lift his right foot and knock it behind for the corner to Crystal Palace.
He's got lovely delivery, hasn't he, Sosa, from that left-hand side. He's knocked 3 or 4 really dangerous balls in, and but for good defending from either Endo or Gomez, he's been able to cut them balls out. It could have been a different situation.
Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, commentary on Sports Extra 2. Swansea 1, Manchester City 0 it remains. That's on Sports Extra 3 tonight. Newcastle Spurs goalless is over on Sports Extra. Taking you back to St Mirren very shortly. There's been another goal. Palace corner here at Anfield, though, taken short to Hughes. Back it comes, high, ballooned cross towards the far post. Gay tries to bring it down on his right thigh. McAllister wants to let the ball go out of play. His clearance hits Sarr, goes behind for the Liverpool goal kick, and another goal in the game between St Mirren and Hearts. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, there has indeed. It's St Mirren 1, Hearts 1. The equaliser coming from the Hearts captain Lauren Shankland just a seconds ago. Bit of a slip up with the St Mirren defence. They tried to clear their lines. They made a bit of a pig's ear of it, to be honest with you. And Lauren Shankland, who else was there to pounce? And he has got his side back into this one, with 6 minutes or so to go until half time.
Producer George has just passed me a Crystal Palace long throw stat. Talking about needing an umbrella, 2 bottles of water very nearly went all over the notes there. Luckily the lid is on both of them. Canvo's ball for Nketiah. That's a shirt tug in the penalty area from Gomez. Got to be careful with that. Nketiah is there, finds Munoz. Early cross from Kamada, header from Sarr, down low, bounces once, and Woodman gets down to his left and clutches the ball on the goal line for Liverpool. Stephen Warnock.
Difficult skill from Ismaila Sarr, trying to wrap his neck round the ball to create some power into the cross that came in from Kamada. Wasn't really too much pace on it. It was probably probably about 12 yards out. Difficult skill, not too troublesome for Woodman in the Liverpool goal.
Here's Robertson from deep towards Ungamoa. Brilliant first touch again. Ball skidded at him, just killed it stone dead. Turned, played it to Kieran Morrison. Oh, Morrison had support on the right. He's gone infield there, and Calvin Ramsey wanted it. Morrison gets another chance, edge of the box, hits the shot, that's blocked. Hughes is there, passes back into his own penalty area, scooped away up towards Nketiah. Gomez jumps with him, heads the ball into the Palace half, quickly onto Nketiah again. He's able to turn. Now he's a player with a fantastic goal scoring record in this competition. 13 goals in 17 League Cup appearances. I remember a hat-trick for Arsenal against Sunderland a few seasons back. Liverpool 0, Palace 0, and don't worry, your Palace long throw stat
I'm waiting.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I hope George has done well with this one.
That's good, you'll like this. Pino, back to Gahey. Through to Nketiah. He was trying a little back heel flick there, and it's gone all the way through to Freddie Woodman. Do you know what? I'm going to save it, Stephen. There's been a chance at Swansea. Mike Maine.
And a big one for Manchester City, their closest yet. Rayan Cherki squirmed his shot from 10 yards. It rolled to the far left and hit the very base of the post before Swansea could clear it. Swansea still lead here, 7 minutes half time, by a 1-0.
So Crystal Palace have the second most long throws into the penalty area in the Premier League after Brentford, but the stats suggest they are the best at them, because 34% of those long throws find a teammate. And it's Chris Richards actually who normally delivers those long throws, not playing for Palace tonight because he's out with a calf injury, but we have seen Sosa launch a couple into the penalty area. Sarr trying to get away down the right, goes down, doesn't get the free kick. Kirkes has the ball for Liverpool, tries to pass it out from the back. Munoz blocks, throw in to Liverpool. You having that then, Stephen?
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I have to say, Brentford looks better. The sort of the low-flighted throw is very difficult to deal with. Kayode, who I think it's like it's unbelievable the trajectory he gets on it.
Becomes such a feature of Premier League football, all football this season. Here's Nketiah on the right. Has he overrun it? Cross comes in. Yes, he did. It's gone behind for the goal kick. That is not a corner, even though Robertson made the block for Liverpool. Another goal has gone in at Swansea. Mike Maine.
And the Premier League side are now level. Swansea 1, Manchester City 1. The work of Jeremy Doku. He really raced to the byline to chase onto a loose ball. Then he dribbled in the box, took his shot. Big deflection, carries it into the net. And Manchester City are level. Swansea City 1, Manchester City 1.
Chelsea 2 up at Wolves. Arsenal and Brighton goalless. Liverpool Palace is goalless here. Newcastle Spurs goalless at St James's Park. Kicked off at 8 o'clock. Not anymore. Charlie Slater.
It's on the clock and Newcastle are leading by a 1-0. Fabian Schär, powerful header from a corner kick. Something's happened in the build-up that the Spurs players aren't happy about. But no VAR tonight. Newcastle 1, Spurs 0.
Ismaila Sarr finds the bottom corner in front of the Kop, and Crystal Palace have the lead at Anfield. Cross came into the box. Not sure who that hit, but Sarr pounced with his left foot. And the finish, he is a good goal scorer against Liverpool. That's 4 in 5 for him now. Rain pours down at Anfield and Liverpool behind. Liverpool 0, Palace 1.
Yeah, well, the back three of Liverpool have been superb so far, and Joe Gomez in particular, but it's his error. It hits him, he doesn't adjust his feet quick enough, and it falls to Ismaila Sarr, and he just rifles it in. It's a great finish. Kamada picks his head up, and as he plays the ball forward, it just ricochets off in Daniel Munoz into Joe Gomez, and it is a little bit unfortunate. I'm probably being a little bit harsh on Joe Gomez because it does come at him so quickly that he can't adjust his feet. But Ismaila Sarr, he's there. He finishes it with his left foot into the bottom right-hand corner. It's a clinical finish. Crystal Palace 1-0.
Yeah, Palace leading 1-0, 4 minutes to half-time. Another goal at Celtic. Gavin Wallace.
They've doubled the lead, as did Johnny Kenny. Just as they're going into the box. Oh, and that was a great chance from Konecti out there. But Johnny Kenny, the header, came back across, and the former Shamrock Rovers man was there to head home from 5 yards. Celtic 2, Falkirk 0, Ali.
Goals going in everywhere tonight. Another one at Molineux, Lee Blakeman.
A third for Chelsea. Wolves 0, Chelsea 3. Awful from Wolves, playing out from the back, gave it straight to Estevao, who didn't need asking twice, chipped Sarr from the edge of the area to make it Wolves 0, Chelsea 3, and the boos from the home supporters which greeted that goal said it all.
Yeah, Wolves struggling at the moment in all competitions. Lacroix plays it back to his goalkeeper Benitez. So what have Liverpool got in response here? You immediately heard the fans after they went a goal behind rally behind their team. This much changed team from Arne Slot tonight have won the ball high up the field inside the Palace half, but it's a very weak left-footed drag shot from Ramsey, and it's well wide of the target. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Yeah, poor decision there from Ramsey on his weaker left foot. He done well to drive in off that right-hand side. The ball is Chiesa, who was alongside him. Chiesa had a long glare at him after he dragged that shot wide, but this is now a game that is perfectly set up for Oliver Glasner and his team, because they like to consolidate, they like to stay deep and compact, and then the speed in which they can counter-attack, it suits them down to the ground.
They've got Brentford at home this weekend, actually.
What a game that'll be.
Yeah, long throw specials, but actually, yes, what a game that will be. I'm not saying that in jest. Kirk is his header forward for Liverpool. Lacroix to Canvo to Hughes. Palace playing with confidence, as you'd expect, and Lacroix lets McAllister go running past to him. Low pass up towards Pino. Kirkes has given it away. Now this is a chance for Palace. If Nketiah can play the right pass, he might go it alone. Edge of the penalty area, being forced wide here by Ramsey. Then he goes down inside the box. Craig Pawson, the referee, has a think. Shakes his head, lets Palace continue. Nketiah still down on the floor inside that penalty area. Munoz plays it back to Kamada. Liverpool still have some defending to do late in the first half, as the rain continues to sweep across this stadium, and Gahey slowed it down to walking pace. And I do wonder whether Nketiah should have played Sarr in.
Yeah, he should have. He made the wrong decision. Wanted on the run again, Pino.
Yeah. Oh, ball over the top. Can Pino keep this in play? Well, he slid in. He has done that, but he's knocked it out for a throw into Liverpool. Stephen.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a penalty. When I saw the incident first time round, I was thinking it's just pressure from Calvin Ramsey, who did extremely well getting across from that right back position. He followed Nketiah right across the box. Nketiah is now asking the question. He's saying, where's the penalty? Why isn't it a penalty? But Liverpool caught out trying to overplay in midfield, and then Nketiah just goes to ground a little bit too easily for me.
Will Hughes volleys the ball forward. Crystal Palace get another chance to play again, come back to the halfway line. Chance at Arsenal, I'm hearing. Arsenal playing Brighton tonight. John Southall.
Another for Brighton. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0. Corner on the right-hand side. There was Van Hecker at the back post, 2 yards out, headed wide. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0.
Motherwell lead Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership 1-0. Aberdeen 1 up at Kilmarnock. Celtic 2 to the good against Falkirk tonight. Rangers 1 up at Hibs. And Hearts, the leaders, equalised at St Mirren. St Mirren 1, Hearts 1. There's Canvo. Canvo across to Kamada. Fourth official down there getting the board ready as we play the last 20 seconds of the 45 minutes in this first half. Liverpool at the moment heading for a 6th defeat in 7 games, which is pretty much, I mean, in terms of my time watching football ever since sort of late 70s, early 80s, pretty much unheard of. Here's Pino. Pino's ball to Sarr. Fabulous. Great chance. Brilliant. Oh, well taken by Ismaila Sarr. Second goal of the night. Liverpool absolutely sliced apart, and it looks like they are heading for another defeat. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 2.
Oh, sensational football. Sensational movement. 1 and 2 touch. Inventive football from Crystal Palace. Ismaila Sarr plays the ball into Yeremy Pino. It's a little Cruyff flick around the corner, back into the path of Ismaila Sarr, and Ismaila Sarr is just through on goal so easily. He doesn't get any cover. Joe Gomez alongside him from Endo, and then Ismaila Sarr slots it into the goal. It's a quite brilliant goal from Crystal Palace, it really is.
Yeah, mesmeric stuff, fabulous football. Pino's vision and pass into the path of Sarr, but that is a confident player there, striking that ball home. And Liverpool in real trouble tonight. This was always the risk, Stephen, with picking this team. Arne Slot will know that, and it's obviously been picked for the longer term. There's a bigger picture, but now 2-0 down against this Crystal Palace team. It does look like trouble.
Yeah, it does, and I think this has been an issue with Liverpool, where they've started games relatively well, and then when they find themselves behind, or they find they're getting a little bit tough for them, they go into the shell a little bit, and that's not what Liverpool have been about over the last few years, especially last year when Arne Slot's first season. So needs a big response after a good start, but Palace excellent.
Every game has context, of course, but home defeats for Liverpool are rare. Coming into this game, 8 defeats in 122 home games at Anfield in all competitions, going back to March 2021. But Manchester United have won here this season. Crystal Palace now leading here by 2-0 in added time at the end of the first half. Liverpool trying to do something about that. Ungamoa looking for Chiesa. Chiesa's pass back to him didn't have enough on it. And Palace looking so dangerous on the counter. Sarr again, he's on the hat-trick, of course, up to the edge of the penalty area, looks for that low pass to the left-hand side, trying to return the favour to Pino, couldn't quite find him, and Liverpool able to get it away. Ramsey's tripped there by Pino. That'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Half-time at Celtic, Gavin Wallace.
A Johnny Kenny double ensures that Martin O'Neill's reign is getting off to a great start. Celtic 2, Falkirk 0.
Half-time at Swansea as well in the League Cup tonight. Mike Maine.
Where it's 1-1. Franco's great curling effort on the D got the hosts in front after 12 minutes. Doku's deflected effort had City level 5 minutes before half-time. Really good cup tie this one. Swansea City 1, Manchester City 1.
Time for John Southall to go and get a cup of tea at the Emirates as well, but not before he's told us the half-time score. John.
It's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0. Brighton the better side. Ruta, Shimas, Van Hecker and Kostoulas have all gone close. Jason Steele in the Brighton goal hasn't really been troubled. Mikel Arteta's got some of the big dogs on the bench. He might need them. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0.
Producer George across his German Cup action tonight. Bayern Munich 2-1 up away to FC Cologne. Harry Kane has scored again. Luis Diaz has scored. I know, Stephen, he's a player you think Liverpool are missing big time.
Yeah, I do. I just think someone who can take players on individually, get fans off the seat, but he brought an energy when he was pressing. So yeah, a player that is sadly missed from Liverpool.
10 changes tonight made by Arne Slot, and this Liverpool team 2-0 down at home against Crystal Palace, and at the moment heading out of the League Cup. Kirkes on the ball. Loyal support from the red-clad, soaked fans around us here. Gomez, right-footed pass, sweeping across the pitch here. Nioni, low ball to McAllister, tries to hit that first time, it sort of bobbles its way to Chiesa. Chiesa quickly on to Ungamoa into that Crystal Palace penalty area. Right-footed pass is low and back to Nioni. First touch has shown too much of that to the Palace defenders. McAllister tries to win the 50-50. Munoz heads it forward, and then Pino knocked to the ground by Andy Robertson. And Crystal Palace get the free kick. Half-time whistle on the way shortly here at Anfield. But not going Liverpool's way again tonight. They are trailing by 2-0.
Yeah, they're so athletic when they go forward and dynamic, aren't they, Crystal Palace? That's why they're such a danger when they go 1-0 ahead. Ismaila Sarr, Yeremy Pino, they're so quick in transition, and obviously Nketiah as well has got that pace, but especially down the flanks as well, the energy from Munoz, and then on the left-hand side you've got Sosa as well, who's also flying. They don't have committed players forward.
Yeah, 5 changes made tonight, but it is looking a very slick operation. Oliver Glasner in the dark blue coat, standing on the edge of the pitch here, watching his charges. 2-0 in front. Gahey looking for Pino. Pino just digs his right foot under the ball, wants a teammate to get onto that. Liverpool clear towards the halfway line. Lacroix wins the header. Nioni flicks a header infield, it bounces. Munoz leaps high. Nioni chests it down. McAllister's first time ball played across to the right hand side. Here's Ramsey. Craig Pawson has a little look at the watch. Deep in added time at the end of the first half here. We're past the 5 minutes now as Ungamoa gets on the ball again, but he's inside his own half here. Short pass to McAllister to his right. McAllister gives it to Gomez. Gomez just short of the halfway line, rolls the ball under the studs of his right boot, keeps going forward, finds Robertson to his left, through the channels to McAllister, behind Ungamoa, but Kirkes is there, looking for the return pass from Chiesa, just overhit, intercepted by Lacroix, and cleared away for the throw-in to Liverpool.
They defend well, Crystal Palace, don't they? Even when they get dragged out of positions, the 3 centre-backs cover themselves extremely well. And even with the changes that they've got, with Cambo coming in, he's looked very confident as well.
And there we go, half-time whistle at Anfield, and the rain comes thundering down. And Arne Slot has more thinking to do. Heading for 6 defeats in 7 games, Liverpool took a risk with the team selection. Started okay tonight. Ungamoa's looking dangerous, but the real danger man for Crystal Palace has taken both his chances so well. In his last 5 appearances for Palace against Liverpool, he has scored 5 times. Palace comfortable. Stephen Warner.
Very, very comfortable, very organised. They had a spell in the first 15-20 minutes where they were put under a little bit of pressure by Liverpool without really creating too many opportunities, but then they grew into the game once they figured out Liverpool's system, when to press, how to press, where to drop off. Oliver Glasner fixed it relatively quickly, and then they started to dominate possession. Then we saw the quality in forward areas, and deservedly going 2-0 ahead.
Ismaila Sarr with both goals for Crystal Palace tonight. At half-time in the pouring rain at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 2.
Alistair Bruce Ball, Stephen Warnock. We'll be back to you, Ali, very shortly for the second half. But Stephen, just before you go, what did we learn from this game? Does this just continue the poor run of form for Liverpool? Do we learn how good Crystal Palace are? Can we read too much into it because of this young team? What do you think?
It depends what narrative you want to make of it and who you are, who's watching it. If you're a Liverpool fan, I think Liverpool fans will be thinking, well, it's our young team. There'll be some Liverpool fans thinking, oh, here we go again. There'll be Crystal Palace fans purring at this, saying, oh, we're going to win the Carabao Cup. There'll be other Crystal Palace fans who are saying, yeah, but it's only the kids of Liverpool. So it's very, very difficult to read into it yet, Kelly. But the one thing I'd say is that Crystal Palace are a very good team, very well coached and managed by Oliver Glasner.
Stephen, thank you very much. As I say, we'll be back with Stephen Warnock and Alistair Bruce Ball for the second half of that game, with Liverpool trailing 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace in the 4th round of the League Cup. Wolves at home to Chelsea, and they're not finding it any happier. Lee Blakeman.
Wolves 0, Chelsea 3. Easy for Chelsea, woeful from Wolves. 1 down after 5 minutes, gave the ball away at the back, and Santos fired into the bottom corner for his first Chelsea goal. Tyreek George made it 2 10 minutes later, tapping in a Gittins cross from a yard out before Estevao chipped in the third after Wolves again lost possession when playing out from the back. Chelsea have been in total control. Wolves haven't had a shot on target. Half-time, Wolves 0, Chelsea 3.
Arsenal and Brighton are goalless at half-time. It's Swansea 1, Manchester City 1. Gonzalo Franco put Swansea in front in that game. Jeremy Doku with a deflected equaliser for the travelling side. And Newcastle United up against Spurs. That one is an 8 o'clock kick-off. Here's Charlie Blakeman. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
so
Charlie
38 minutes
Slater. Sorry,
I liked
Charlie.
it. I've always thought me and Lee would make a great couple, so I quite liked that, and I didn't mind taking his name. 38 minutes gone. It's Newcastle 1, Spurs 0. Newcastle deserving this lead, though. Spurs coming back into it a bit, particularly down the right flank. Brennan Johnson, couple of crosses that have been an inch or so away from getting on the end of Richarlison's boot. Newcastle still leading by a goal to nil.
In the Scottish Premiership, Celtic 2-0 up against Falkirk. A very happy start to life back at Celtic for Martin O'Neill. Hibs taking on Rangers. Kenny Crawford's watching.
Half-time score is Hibernian 0, Rangers 1. Injuries and goal droughts have blighted Danilo's couple of years at Rangers, but the Brazilian is well liked at Ibrox, and even more so when he scored in the 5th minute here at Easter Road. Yusuf Chermiti teeing up Danilo really nicely, and it was a brilliant, precise 18-yard finish low into the bottom right-hand corner, his second goal in 2 games. Grant Hanley nearly equalised with a header, but Jack Butland saved that brilliantly. It's half-time. Hibernian 0, Rangers 1.
And watching St Mirren against Hearts is Jane Lewis.
A goal apiece in this one, St Mirren 1, Hearts 1. Dan Lundaloo put St Mirren ahead against the league leaders in this one with a brilliant overhead kick. It was superb technique and well worthy of the goal that gave them the lead. But at the other end, a mistake by St Mirren saw their captain Lawrence Shanklin pounce for the equaliser at 1-1. This one is finally poised with a half-time, about 10 minutes or so away from getting underway.
Elsewhere, it's Kilmarnock 0, Aberdeen 1 and Motherwell 1, Dundee United 0. We'll keep you across everything that's happening in the Scottish Premiership and in the League Cup 4th round, and we'll be back at Anfield for the second half of Liverpool against Crystal Palace after the BBC News with Bethan Holmes.
The voice of the UK. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
At least 20 people have died in flooding in Haiti caused by Hurricane Melissa, while flash flooding has also been reported in Cuba. Before it made landfall there, it hit Jamaica, becoming the strongest storm the country's ever experienced. Most of the island is without power. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, is in the southwestern area of the island.
In particular, one town, Black River, has been, you could literally say, totally destroyed. The corridor along which the eye of the hurricane made landfall and proceeded, what you could effectively say is a trail of destruction. About 80 to 90% of roofs were destroyed, hospitals destroyed, libraries, police station, courthouses.
Now, Heathrow, NatWest and Asda are some of those experiencing problems because of a global Microsoft outage. Here's our technology reporter, Chris Valance.
In this case, Microsoft seems to be attributing this again, as Amazon did, to a DNS issue. That's an issue with, if you like, the system that helps route traffic. And in this case, the latest is that they are blaming an inadvertent configuration change as being the trigger. So that sounds like a dodgy update, if you like.
An asylum seeker who stabbed a man to death in a bank in Derby has been jailed for life. Habi Noor stabbed Govinda Jahal in May. He will serve a minimum of 25 years in prison. A British man has been detained in Kyiv accused of spying for Russia. Prosecutors say he'd been working as a military instructor but accuse him of passing information to Russian intelligence. And 2 men arrested in connection with the Louvre heist have partially recognised their involvement. Jewellery worth £76 million was stolen 2 weeks ago, which hasn't yet been recovered.
On Saturday on 5 Sports Extra.
Unbelievable scenes at shell-shocked Twickenham!
Rugby Union's elite clash in a bid to close out the year in style. England face Australia at 3:10, and Scotland host USA at 20-6.
Oh, what a try!
The Rugby Union Autumn Internationals. Keep up to date with all the insight and analysis with the Rugby Union Weekly Podcast.
It doesn't stop.
Listen with the BBC Sounds app. This is 5 Live Sports with Kelly Cates. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Hello, welcome back to 5 Live Sport. The second half coverage of Liverpool against Crystal Palace in the League Cup 4th round on the way. Crystal Palace are 2-0 up at the break at Anfield. Other stories to bring you this evening. England's women are out of the Cricket World Cup. They were thrashed in their semi-final by South Africa, who won by 125 runs. Henry Moran was watching in Guwahati.
So England's women eliminated from the World Cup after 2 quite sensational performances from South African stalwarts. Laura Wolfhart, their captain, absolutely brilliant in smashing 169 from 143 balls before England's top order ripped apart by Marizanne Kapp, and England falling eventually by 194 all out, a margin of victory of 125 runs. Alex Hartley was watching on, former England international. And Alex, it was a day where England have just been soundly beaten by a side who turned up on a day when England didn't really.
Yeah, beaten by a better side. England weren't good enough today, and they'll be hugely disappointed. You know, a massive win for South Africa, 125 runs. But credit to Laura Wolfart and Marizanne Kapp, like you said, they were just outstanding. Laura Wolfart set the tone, hitting the first 2 balls of the day for 4, and it just got better and better for South Africa from there. It takes something special to score 100 in any form of cricket, in ODI cricket, but a World Cup knockout game to get over 150, 169 for her. She was phenomenal.
What did England get wrong in the game?
Yeah, not much, to be honest. Like they'll sit back and reflect. You know, they didn't drop catches, they didn't bowl slot balls. They could have potentially have gone to the wide Yorker plan a little bit earlier than they did. In fact, they should have gone to the wide Yorker plan earlier than they did. But it's not like they've had a howler of a game. It's not like you watched that game and gone, oh, this is really disappointing from England. They were just outplayed by South Africa.
It started badly with the bat, to put it mildly. They were 0 for 2, 1 for 3, and at that point you're thinking, well, this could be record-breaking territory.
Yeah, well, it was in the end anyway, wasn't it? But it could have been a lot worse for England. But, you know, when Nat Sciver-Brunt was there alongside Alice Capsey, you just had a glimmer of hope that if they could stick around for a little bit longer, you just never know. But, again, Marizanne Kapp with the ball in hand comes back into the attack, takes more wickets, gets a 5 for, and South Africa have the perfect day.
Fair to say this feels different to previous failures in the last 12 months. I'm thinking back to the T20 World Cup and the Women's Ashes last winter.
Yeah, they just look at a different side, don't they? You know, in the manner that they've played their cricket, the way they talk to the media, just everything about them just seems different. You know, you can sit back and sometimes watch a team lose and they lose in the wrong way, but actually when you've watched this team play in the way that they have and the way that they've played the games throughout this tournament, you know, they didn't do much wrong today, and they were just beaten by a better side, and actually you can see those improvements starting to come in, and things don't change overnight.
Yep, and England, they'll be hugely disappointed. Charlotte Edwards, the England head coach, said it was a bare minimum that England got to the semi-final. Well, they did that, but they go no further. After play, the England head coach spoke to Daniel Norcross.
Your immediate reaction, so it's been a pretty tough day.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I mean, you know, we had high hopes of hopefully going further in this comp, and obviously it hasn't worked out for us today. I think, you know, we've been completely outplayed by South Africa. I think 2 fantastic performances one from Laura Wolfart, I think one of probably the best ODI innings I think you'll see, and obviously an incredible spell of bowling from Marizanne Kapp, and ultimately, you know, 2 of the big performers for them stepped up on the big stage today, and obviously we'll be going home now.
Did those last 10 overs, do you feel that it sort of bled into the way the top order batted? Because suddenly it was 1 for 3. There was a little bit of uncharacteristic batting, I think, be safe to say, from that top order, blown away. First time that top 3 have gone for a duck, and I just felt watching on there might just have been a bit of a hangover from the trauma of the last half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you will always probably say that with the situation. I mean, I haven't spoken to the players. I think I'm keeping away from them at the moment. But you know, it was a great spell of bowling. And just disappointed. I thought it was a great partnership from Nat and Capsey that kind of gave us a glimmer of hope, and you kind of felt that Nat Sciver-Brunt had to kind of match what Laura Wolfart did, and that wasn't to be. So we'll have to take it on the chin, and disappointing day.
That was Henry Moran with Alex Hartley. Commentary of defending champions Australia against the hosts India on Sports Extra from 9:15 tomorrow morning. England's men lost their second ODI to New Zealand by 5 wickets in Hamilton. New Zealand now lead the series 2-0 with 1 to play. A winding-up petition filed against Salford Red Devils has been adjourned for a 3rd time, and they'll now have 2 more weeks to pay their outstanding tax bill to HMRC. And the Toronto Blue Jays won Game 4 of the World Series against the LA Dodgers. The series is now tied at 2-2 with 3 games remaining. It's half-time at Newcastle. Let's join Charlie Slater.
Newcastle 1, Spurs 0. The holders just about deserved the lead. Fabian Schär scored with his header from a corner. Tottenham furious with the referee, though, who didn't allow Jed Spence to get back in his usual defensive position after he took an age to tie his bootlace. It should be 2, but Thiaw and Barnes somehow both contrived to miss from 6 yards out. At the break, Newcastle 1, Spurs 0.
Time now to head back to Anfield ahead of kick-off in the second half of Liverpool's game against Crystal Palace. Palace leading by 2-0 at half-time. Stephen Warnock and Alistair Bruce Ball are there. Stephen, as we approach the second half, what did Liverpool do? They're 2-0 down, and normally in a tie like this, it might, if they were losing 2-0 at half-time, you might say, get the senior players off the bench, but there aren't any senior players on the bench, and it feels as though Arne Slot has decided to go with the kids to almost write this game off. What do Liverpool hope to get from the second half?
A different performance. Try and get yourself a goal, get back into it as quick as possible. Maybe he might change the system. Maybe that's something he might look along the lines of. But he might feel that there's enough quality still within this team to get something out of it. He's desperate for a reaction from them, and he's hoping that he can give the crowd something just to hold on to. However, Kelly, having looked at Liverpool's system that they've just lined up in, it doesn't look like he's going to change that system very quickly.
No, and it does look as though there's going to be a change for Crystal Palace that will not necessarily be welcome from a Liverpool point of view, because having scored a couple of goals in the first half, Ismaila Sarr, who started for the team, is off, and it doesn't get any better, Alistair Bruce Ball.
No, it feels like a fairly ruthless one, actually, Kelly. Jean-Philippe Mateta is coming on, so we're just watching him go through his paces in the pouring rain at the moment, getting ready for the second half. The rest of the team, the Palace team, are on their way out of the tunnel now, so 2-0 up and in control. Ismaila Sarr has done his bit for the team. Jean-Philippe Mateta, who is so important.
Ismaila Sarr's coming out.
Ah, right, so it's not Sarr who's come off.
Actually Sarr, yeah.
So let's have a look.
I just wonder whether it's Nketiah. It is Nketiah.
Nketiah's come off, you're right. So, blimey, I mean, that's even more ruthless, isn't it?
I just thought that myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Mateta on for Nketiah. Sarr, who's got 2 goals, is still out there. Crystal Palace leading Liverpool 2-0. And the point Kelly makes about the Liverpool bench is worth reiterating as well, because I think people, if they are just tuning in thinking, right, Liverpool much changed team 2-0 down, well, maybe they'll chuck Salah on or Wirtz on or Ekitike on. None of those players, none of the recognised names are involved this evening. And when I get a chance, I will read you down Liverpool's bench. I think a lot of the names, outsiders, non-Liverpool fans, and even some Liverpool fans will not have heard too much of. We are back underway. Liverpool in the red shirts, white trim, playing from left to right towards the Kop in the second half and working a good move and finding 18-year-old debutant Kieran Morrison running at Palace defenders, crosses blocked, and it goes behind for a Liverpool corner right at the start of the second half. There's been a goal at Molineux early in the second half as well. Lee Blakeman.
Wolves have got one back. Wolves 1, Chelsea 3. Arakadare played into the area left side, right foot curler round the keeper, and Wolves have a lifeline. Wolves 1, Chelsea 3.
Newcastle leading Spurs 1-0 at half-time. Commentary of that one on Sports Extra this evening. Choice of listening, as ever, on 5 Live and the crucial BBC Sounds app that you must have to be able to listen to our Sports Extra stream. Sports Extra 2, Sports Extra 3. Arsenal and Brighton's 0-0. Swansea and Manchester City 1-1. Here's the Liverpool corner. McAllister's delivery. Mateta's first touch of the evening is a powerful defensive header at the near post. And out it goes for another Liverpool throw. So Liverpool are Freddie Woodman in goal, making a debut for Liverpool, having joined from Preston in the summer. Calvin Ramsey at right back. Milos Kerkez over as the left wing back. Endo, Gomez and Robertson, the 3 centre backs, lining up like that again in the second half. 18-year-old Trey Nyoni. Alexis McAllister also in midfield. Kieran Morrison, I just mentioned, on the right. Rio Ungamoa, who's shown us some dazzling skills again tonight at Anfield, on the left. And Chiesa playing as the centre forward. I'll give you that Palace team in just a second. Liverpool have won a free kick. They've taken it quickly. Here's Morrison. Morrison is surrounded by the white Palace shirts. Sosa on the turn for Palace. Clears up to the halfway line. Endo volleys it into the feet of McAllister, and back it comes to Gomez. If Liverpool can get the next goal, then maybe it does get interesting. But Palace, as we know, difficult team to break down. Here's Morrison on the right. Plays back to Endo. Endo's 40 yards from goal, inside right channel. McAllister just to his left, gives him the ball. Wide it comes to Calvin Ramsey. Ramsey's wearing white number 47 on the back of his red shirt. Infield it comes again to McAllister. Low pass from him to Robertson. 10 yards inside the Crystal Palace half. Forward to Kirkes. Back to Robertson. Robertson slides one through to Chiesa. Chiesa on the dribble. Runs into the challenge from Munoz. Crystal Palace have won it. And Lacroix's going to go long with his right foot. Robertson should deal with that. Lets that bounce and runs safely into his own half. Arsenal, Brighton, early stages of the second half then. John Southall.
Still Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, but a controversial moment at the beginning of this second half. Max Dowman on the byline. Buscagli put a foot out. Dowman went down. The referee said no penalty as Arsenal go close at the other end. Obviously no VAR. Looked a good shout, I've got to say that. De Kuyper for Brighton also had an effort punched away. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0.
Yes, no VAR in the League Cup in these ties this evening. Will Hughes looking to find Ismaila Sarr running through the middle. Liverpool has snuffed that danger out. They pass out quickly from the back. Morrison plays it back to Ramsey. Ramsey forward looking for Chiesa. And the deflected touch takes it beyond Chiesa. He applauds the effort, then he turns and chases. And Crystal Palace keep the ball away from him. They've got Walter Benitez in goal. Their three centre-backs are Jady Canvo, the 19-year-old Frenchman, Guéhi and Lacroix. Borna Sosa is the left wing back, Munoz on the right. That's a lovely little layoff from Pino to Sarr. Sarr lines up the shot, low straight one is easily saved by Woodman. Will Hughes and Daichi Kamada in central midfield, Sarr, Pino and now Mateta through the middle. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, good opportunity for Ismaila Sarr there. It's far too easy to get through the middle of Liverpool's team. Again, that's where they really are struggling this season, with that press in that centre midfield position. McAllister, Traoré feel like they're a little bit isolated within that position. They need more help.
Here's Robertson. Robertson's ball up the left towards Ungamoa. He was immediately under pressure inside his own half. Managed to hold on to it, find Kirkes. Back to Robertson and across to Gomez. The rain has stopped now. Floodlights shining brightly at Anfield. Liverpool attacking the Kop away to our right. Morrison back to Endo. Shouldn't forget as well what a special night, you know, making your debut for Liverpool. You know, whatever the game, whatever the situation, whatever form the team is in, if you're a lad who's come through the ranks here, or however you've got to Liverpool, that is still a pretty amazing feeling. Here he is now, Morrison on the right, and he's running at Sosa. He's chopped back onto his left foot and he's looking for the run forward there of Endo from deep. Kamada nearly turns into trouble for Palace but gets out of it, plays back to Guéhi. Guéhi to Sosa. Sosa goes long and Mateta's all on his own here. Holds off Robertson, running away from the Liverpool defenders, hits the shot early and it's straight at Freddie Woodman. Stephen.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on the assistant referee on the far side to see whether he was going to do that late flag. He didn't. He thought Mateta had just got on the wrong side of Andrew Robertson. It's a little bit of a tame effort from Mateta. Usually decent from those situations. But that's the side of Crystal Palace, isn't it? Soak up the pressure and then hit those big long diagonals or commit men forward and cause Liverpool problems.
We don't know exactly why Glas has made the change at half-time, Stephen, but it is an interesting one because lots of football coming, European football for Palace as well. Mateta probably deserves a rest, and Ketty's not had that much football. That's his first start of the season, but they've made the change.
Yeah, I think there's an element of why risk the players, or risk the player when he is so important. Oliver Glasner's probably argument to that was, well, he's getting more fitness, more sharp, keeping that mentality, and I'll rest him at the right times in training, or I'll adapt his training sessions throughout the week. This is a good 45-minute run out for him.
European football next week for Liverpool. That's Real Madrid at home. We've got full commentary on that on Tuesday night. For Crystal Palace, that is AZ Alkmaar at home, having lost their last Conference League outing against the Cypriots Larnaca. Here's Gomez back in the centre circle. Live from Anfield tonight. Clever flick here, Ramsey. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 2. Palace break the move up. They've given the ball away. Morrison. Kieran Morrison, the 18-year-old. Nice pass from him. Chiesa, step over. Left-footed drive is well blocked by Canvo. And the ball comes off him powerfully. The Liverpool fans like that. You can hear the reaction to the shot from Chiesa. It's gone out for a throw on the left. Oh, goal at St Mirren. St Mirren Hearts this is tonight, the Scottish Premiership. Jane Lewis.
Yes, St Mirren 2, Hearts 1. The home side they've looked full of intent in the second half, and they've duly been rewarded. It's Mikael Freckleton who's put them ahead in this one. Did really, really well. Turn and shot, kept the ball low in past the Hearts of Midlothian goalkeeper Alexander Sholoff. So the home side 1 up ahead in this one in the second half. They lead 2-1 overall.
Here come Crystal Palace on the counter-attack. Sarr doesn't quite get the pass right, looking for Mateta. Hopeful ball out from Andy Robertson. Doesn't release Morrison. Gahey is there. Back it comes to Lacroix, just like old times at Celtic Park tonight. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, it's quite good seeing Martin O'Neill punch the air. Not seen that for a long time as they go 3-0 up. Benjamin Nygren this time. Right place, the right time. Original shot. Parried into his feet by Scott Bain. Taps home. Celtic 3, Falkirk 0.
Am I right in saying that's 5 points then, the gap?
If Hearts lose tonight, Celtic get to 20, the gap is 5. Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Martin O'Neill talked about Hearts probably winning the league and then go in for one game, and suddenly how things can change, and you think, oh, there's a chance now.
Yeah, just listening to before the game as well, I was thinking, not only will Celtic fans, I'm sure, enjoy having him back, the journalists, I think, are going to enjoy having Martin O'Neill around again. He is always excellent to speak to and to listen to. Ramsey is fouled for Liverpool inside his own half, so they will get a free kick. They're trailing Crystal Palace by 2-0. First goal of the night, though, at Arsenal. John Southall.
And it's gone to Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Brighton 0. Brighton have had all the chances, but it's Arsenal with the lead. Wanyeri, nice finish from the left of the area into the bottom right-hand corner. Arsenal 1, Brighton 0.
So Arsenal 1 up on Brighton. Swansea 1, Manchester City 1. Wolves have a goal back at Molineux, but 3-1 down at home against Chelsea. All of these ties decided tonight, playing for a place in the League Cup quarter-finals. And the 8 o'clock kick-off tonight, Newcastle Spurs at St James's Park at half-time. Newcastle were leading 1-0. We played 9 minutes in the second half here. Sosa plays back to Gahey. Real sort of classic 70s feel to these Crystal Palace away shirts. I like these ones. It's not the diagonal sash across the chest. It's a vertical line of red and blue. And red and blue, a red stripe down the right shoulder. Blue stripe down the left shoulder. Rest of the kit all white. Mateta battles for a ball on the halfway line. Liverpool have it with Robertson. Sarr slides in, takes it off him. Robertson wants it again and then goes in hard, winning hard on Pino and Kamada. And he's going to get certainly penalised for one of the fouls, free kick and a yellow card for Andy Robertson.
Yeah, I don't think we knew which one he's been booked for, but it was strong from Andrew Robertson. Both challengers just overrun his touch, but Ismaila Sarr actually did well to pick his pocket, and then that asked Andrew Robertson then to dive into the next challenge. Studs up a little bit on Jeremy Pino from the replay that's just being shown in front of us.
Talking about the bargain that Daniel Munoz was for Crystal Palace, Ismaila Sarr, 12.5 million from Marseille, and another one who's such a good footballer for them.
Yeah, it was a player who was heavily linked to Liverpool for a number of years when he was actually at Watford, and then am I right in saying he went to, was it Marseille?
Yeah, Marseille.
It didn't quite work out for him, did it?
Here's Lacroix, another brilliant signing by Crystal Palace. Got the freedom of Anfield here, striding forward. Little chop from him. If this ends up in the top corner, it's going to be some goal. He decides not to take the shot. Teed himself up on the left foot. Instead, he's passed it to Munoz with his right foot. He has stayed forward in the attack. Will Hughes has got it just outside the box. Little ball into the far post. Sosa tries to get on the end of it, and Leone plays it out, but he can't find Morrison. Then there's a slip from Kamada. Morrison pounces on that for Liverpool. Passes back into midfield. 10 minutes gone in the second half. If you are just tuning in, Liverpool trailing at home against Crystal Palace. on a Slot making 10 changes to the team tonight, and most of the big names, almost all of the big names, not involved. Gahey, of course, another one heavily linked with Liverpool earlier this season, but has got his head down and done a fantastic job for Crystal Palace. Here's Pino on the ball. Pino with the high diagonal towards Munoz. Kirkes underneath it. Munoz is down, the ball hits Kirkes' back and it goes out. Well, for a throw into Liverpool, that is given as. Swansea, Manchester City latest comes from Mike Maine.
Shaping up, I think, to how many would have predicted the game would have gone. City pressing, Swansea struggling to get out their own half, becoming a little attritional. Hosts aren't going all defensive just yet. Ronald and Vipotnik, two attacking players, are just coming onto the field. But for now, 15 minutes gone in the second half. Swansea City 1, Manchester City 1.
A fourth goal of the night at St Mirren. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, St Mirren are enjoying themselves here. St Mirren 3, Hearts 1. St Mirren made it 3-1. Unbelievable. Mikael Frekeldom's second goal of the night. His header initially hit off the post. It rebounded back to him on the angle and he finished off. Although the VAR is just telling us they are checking for offside. We'll keep you posted, but as things stand, St Mirren are 3-1 up. That could change.
Thank you, Jane. So as Stephen says, Celtic leading by 3-0. If Celtic win and Hearts lose, then the gap is 5 points. Hearts at the top. And here's Calvin Ramsey. Left-footed pass back to his goalkeeper, Freddie Woodman. All in green for Liverpool. Chips the ball out to the left. Robertson closed down by Munoz. Fires the pass quickly up towards Ungamoa. Kirkes down. Caught by Hughes. Free kick, Liverpool. And referee Craig Pawson's just gone over to check that Milos Kirkes is doing okay. Do you think one of the reasons, Stephen, that Kirkes has started tonight is just to get him more football for Liverpool? Just try and play him into some sort of form and feeling of comfort?
Well, that's the only thing you can think it is. I'd be inclined to go the other way and just take him out the firing line for a bit, let him watch from the sidelines, let him understand his role within the team, how Liverpool want to play, how they set themselves up, and he's certainly struggling, and he's just give the throwing away there. He just looks so uncomfortable almost, and it is a confidence crisis, because what you do is you second guess yourself and you make things, you do things that are so unnatural to you.
Right, another throw in for Liverpool. Kirkes is going to take it again. Last time, as Stephen just said, he threw it straight to a Crystal Palace player. Liverpool eventually won themselves a throwing back. That's risky from Chiesa, passing high across his own half without looking. It's okay though, it falls to Ramsey. Justin Devaney, the Northern Irishman, waiting to come on here for Crystal Palace. Endo passes to McAllister. Liverpool 0, Palace 2. Coming up to the hour mark in the game. Nice dribbling from Endo. Little 1-2 with McAllister. Nearly fed that through, but then Liverpool could be in trouble here as Palace look to hit on the counter. Sarr can't control the ball. Liverpool fans urge Robertson forward. Here's Kirkes. Now this is where he prefers it. Charging forward, ball at his feet. Plays it to his left-hand side. Step over from Chiesa. Looks for Kirkes again. Back it goes to the left. Ungamoa side foots a pass back to Robertson. He sees Ramsey in space, edge of the box. Takes a touch on the volley. Tries to win a foul. Referee's not interested in giving that. Mateta collects it for Crystal Palace inside his own half. There was no one ahead of him. Gets it back from Munoz. That's the ball he's looking for. Through the lines on the left-hand side to Sosa. It's intercepted. Mateta works hard, though, to get it back for Crystal Palace again.
Yeah, when the ball's turned over, Palace works so hard to win it back. It's that mentality of almost 1 or 2 seconds, win it back. Why Liverpool are in transition, make the life difficult for them.
Good performance from Crystal Palace tonight. Here's Gahey. Gahey plays right into the heart of midfield, midway inside the Liverpool half to Hughes. Hughes furious that the right runs not being made ahead of him. Hughes looking to get on the ball on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Nioni calm under pressure there, but he has lost it now. Sosa's down, play continues. Gahey skips past the challenge of McAllister. Another touch, little pass here. Pino can't quite control it. Liverpool get it away for a throw into Crystal Palace. What news of that third St Mirren goal then, Jane Lewis?
Yeah, I can tell you that the referee, Matthew McDermott, not made himself very popular with the home fans in here, because he was sent over to the monitor to have a look at it after the VAR officials asked him to do so. I came over and he has ruled it offside. So Mikael Frekelton thought he'd got his second of the afternoon, of the night I should say, but it was ruled for offside. So St Mirren still in the lead, but it's been cut to 2-1.
Rain's drumming down again at Anfield. Newcastle Spurs back underway in the second half. Charlie Slater.
It's 3 minutes old. Newcastle still lead by 1-0, but my goodness, it should be 2. Joe Willock had a free header 5 yards out, and his head must have been shaped like a 20p piece. It's still 1-0.
Throw in from Sosa. Craig Pawson spotted a foul in there by a Palace player, so Liverpool will get a free kick. Lee Blakeman is watching Wolves-Chelsea tonight.
Wolves 1, Chelsea 3. Wolves on top at the moment, pushing for a second goal. They've been so good, they've forced Enzo Maresca to make a triple Chelsea change, including bringing back Liam Delap after 10 games out with a hamstring problem. He's on, and Chelsea still lead 3-1 at Molineux.
OK, that's interesting. Liam Delap is back. I saw Chelsea lose at home to Sunderland on Saturday when Mark Guiu started as the centre forward with João Pedro playing off him. Cole Palmer is still out at the moment. Ismail Assar is going to get half an hour off, but he's made the difference tonight, Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, superb. I mean, his forward running, the work rate off the ball, his finishing, calm, and went under a little bit of pressure in front of goal, in front of the cop, and he's scored 2 brilliant goals.
So Devaney on for Palace. He runs into that right-sided attacking position. Part of the 2 behind Mateta now as the centre forward, and Nketiah came off at half-time. Now a goal at St James's Park. Charlie Slater.
Nick Voltemada showing his teammate how it's done with a header from 5 yards out. It's Newcastle 2, Tottenham 0. Brilliant from Voltemada. His 7th in the black and white stripes of Newcastle. 2-0 to them.
Oh, good ball from Pino to Mateta. Mateta with the right foot hits the shot. Robertson gets his body in the way. Pino drives his shot from the edge of the box. Gomez is there. Crystal Palace looking for a third to completely kill the game. Liverpool survive for now. Chiesa controls, plays back to Ungamoa inside his own half. And again, Palace having lost the ball so quick around those Liverpool players trying to win it back. Robertson sees space on the right-hand side, so hits a high pass away to that right wing. Ramsey controls and plays back to Endo. Quarter-final draw will be made tonight after Newcastle Spurs. So at the moment we've got Newcastle going through. They're leading Spurs 2-0. Chelsea going through 3-1 up at Wolves. Swansea, Manchester City still in the balance. That's 1-1. Arsenal leading Brighton 1-0. And here Crystal Palace 2-0 up on Liverpool. Brentford, Fulham and Cardiff winners last night. Chiesa's annoyed with himself, miscontrolled, kicks the air in frustration. The ball's gone out for a Crystal Palace throw, and they've launched that back into their own half. And they are very comfortable in this game. The FA Cup holders. Sosa back to Gahey. Gahey to Kamada inside his own half. Liverpool players start to close in. Sosa receives it again, puts pace on that. Gahey lets it run past him, turns back to his goalkeeper Benitez. Barely touched the ball in this second half. Cross it comes now to Canvo. Canvo chips one up to the halfway line. Mateta just tries to flick it on. Pino runs on, but the ball is nowhere near him, and Endo comes back to his goalkeeper. No live football tomorrow night, but 5 Live Sport is on air from 7 o'clock. Sonia McLaughlin hosts 5 Live Rugby from 8 o'clock because the autumn internationals get underway this weekend. You can hear all of them, or 3 of them at least, on Sports Extra on Saturday. 3 o'clock England, Australia, Scotland, USA at 5:30, Ireland, New Zealand. Coverage starts at 5 to 8. Here's Calvin Ramsey for Liverpool. A few Liverpool fans getting a little frustrated sitting behind us in our commentary position here as Robertson side foots one to Kirkes. Neat movement from Kirkes, gets him away from the challenge, into the feet of Chiesa, and back to Robertson, and a double Liverpool change on the way, Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, I was just having a look down below to see who the changes are. Can't quite see who they are, but obviously Arne Slot has seen enough. He feels now that 65 minutes on the clock, he has to bring some fresh legs into the team.
Right, players coming on. Number 65, Amara Nallo, who actually made a very brief substitute appearance, so this is not debut tonight, against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League, that last league phase game last season, and was sent off within 4 minutes of his debut for denying a goal-scoring opportunity. So he's 18 years old and will come on, and he will be joined by 92.
Yeah, it's Lucky
down there. Ah, that's Lucky. That's Wellity Lucky, who I've got down as number 95. 19-year-old centre-back Wellity Lucky, waiting to come on for Liverpool. They're 2-0 down against Crystal Palace. Munoz and Kirkes jump for a cross into the Liverpool penalty area, and that's a Munoz foul on Kirkes. Liverpool get the free kick.
Yeah, I think also Cade Gordon's about to come on as well. He's got called back and he's getting stripped, so it's actually going to be a triple substitution by the looks of things.
Triple change coming for Liverpool. Ball is back with their goalkeeper Woodman, clears with his left foot. Lacroix wins the header. McAllister's underneath it, nods it forward. Can Liverpool find a way back into this game, or are they sliding to a 6 defeat in 7 games? Morrison's pass hits Pino, goes straight out for a Liverpool throw on the right-hand side. St Mirren Hearts all happening there tonight. Jane Lewis.
Hearts, so their fans behind the goal absolutely delighted because they have got back into this one. It's now St Mirren 2, Hearts 2, and it's Claudio Braga who's got them back into this one. Initial shot hit off the post, and there was Braga ready to pounce on the rebound. Hearts back in this one, it's 2 each.
Right, Alexis McAllister's the first to come off for Liverpool here. Let's check in on Arsenal Brighton while Liverpool make the changes. John Southall.
71 minutes played, Arsenal 1, Brighton 0, but Brighton still very much in this one. Oyari with the first shot blocked, the rebound over the crossbar, and as I say, they are still in with a fight here, there's no doubt about that, Brighton. But unlike with you, they can bring on the big guns here, Arsenal. Saka, Timber, Gabriel, all on the pitch. Arsenal 1, Brighton 0.
Andy Robertson has come off, 18-year-old Kieran Morrison off. His debut is over for Liverpool tonight. Plenty of the coaching staff up there to give him a pat on the back for his efforts. The rain continues to pour down at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Palace 2. What about Swansea, Manchester City? Mike Maine.
20 minutes to go, still 1-1. Changes happening now. Swansea have taken off their goal scorer Gonzalo Franco. His goal seems a long time ago. City have made a triple change. Vardy, Stones and Foden all on. They've had a couple of chances, but they've snatched at them and rifled them over. But it is defence versus attack. Swansea 1, Manchester City 1.
Another goal at Celtic, Gavin Wallace.
Tinechty with his first goal, and Celtic's 4th. It was a lovely ball through. The defender tried to take him out. He kept his composure and put it on the inside of Scott Bain. Celtic 4, Falkirk 0.
Yeah, I think that's called the new manager bounce. Hibs Rangers, Kenny Crawford.
Hibs 0, Rangers 1 still in this second half. Rangers struggling for cohesion and chance making as they shoot towards their own fans, but Hibs unable to take advantage of any chances they've got. Junior Hoylett's just come on from them. That's a blast from the past down in the Premiership and the Championship. Hibs 0, Rangers 1.
Wellity Lucky is on then for Liverpool, so he is another one making a debut tonight. 19-year-old centre-back, born in Spain, but represents England internationally, so he's on for Liverpool. I think we've worked out 9 first team appearances between all those Liverpool subs tonight, and I think 7 of those belong to Cade Gordon, so that is how inexperienced this Liverpool team is tonight. Lacroix is there to intercept for Palace, plays back to his goalkeeper Benitez. Here's Lacroix under pressure here. Good pressure as well. His clearance is blocked. That gets a big roar from the Liverpool fans. And that is going to be a throw-in for Crystal Palace. And that was Cade Gordon doing the closing down.
Yeah, Liverpool fans like Cade Gordon. They felt that when he came into the Liverpool team a few years back, he showed a little bit of quality, potential to go on. It's not quite worked for him from injury problems that he's had. Not quite just being able to force his way back into the first team reckoning, but they know his qualities.
Yeah, loans to Norwich and Portsmouth last season. 10 appearances at Norwich, just the 1 start, the 1 goal. 5 substitute appearances for Portsmouth. Out there wearing number 49. Another goal at Molineux, I'm hearing Lee blaming. Which way has this one gone?
It's gone to Wolves, would you believe, with 18 minutes to go. Wolves 2, Chelsea 3. Wolves were 3 down at half-time, but the balls just fell off a long throw to David Muller-Wolfer. Rifled it across goal, bottom corner, and we have got a grandstand finish here. Wolves 2, Chelsea 3.
Another long throw.
Another one. Here's Benitez. Clears with his right foot, the Palace goalkeeper. Munoz so high up the field, jumps and wins the header. Mateta thought about the release, but takes a touch. Looks for the run of Deveni. Gomez, you can hear the rain drumming down around us now. Gomez's clearance finds Mateta. Munoz is there inside the penalty area. He runs out of room. Kirkes plays it up the left for Liverpool. Ungamoa gets it back to him.
Look at this rain.
Monsoon out there. Sweeping across the stadium. Coming down in buckets, and Ungamoa's not bothered. He's on the dribble. He was weaving between Palace defenders, and eventually all Will Hughes could do was bring him down. And now Deveni and Chiesa just having a little tete-a-tete on the halfway line here, and a few teammates from either side stepping in to try and sort it out. Tempers fraying.
I'm not so sure what Chiesa's so frustrated about, what actually happened with him and Deveni, whether there was an incident off the ball when we were all watching Ungamoa. There actually was. It was Chiesa shoves Deveni to the floor, and then they start having a little pop at each other. Whether there was a little bit of something said from Deveni towards Chiesa, I'm not so sure, but it seemed to be too much in it.
Frustration boiling over for Federico Chiesa. And there was a book in there, wasn't there? Because I can see Craig Pawson just sticking the yellow card back in his pocket. Chiesa get booked there. Chiesa, he's sort of having a conversation with Will Hughes just watching on the replay there, and was sort of intimating the challenge from Devaney was studs up on him. So he's obviously getting wound up. Liverpool are 2-0 down here at home against Crystal Palace. Heading out of the League Cup, heading for a 6th defeat in 7 games. So as Stephen was saying before the game, you're obviously well aware of the headlines that are going to follow, and Arne Slot will know all about that. But it's about getting that first team ready for Villa at home here on Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and Real Madrid at home, of course, in the Champions League next Tuesday. Another goal at Arsenal being watched by John Southall.
Surely it's all over now. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. We said they brought on the big guns, and one of them scored. Bukayo Saka, Harry Mananusi's shot was saved, and there was Saka following up. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
Cade Gordon trying to get onto something for Liverpool here inside his own half. Chests the ball down under real pressure from Sosa, who's bundled into the back of him, and Liverpool get the free kick.
I wouldn't want to play against Crystal Palace. They hustle so much, they make life so difficult for you, don't really allow you to get on the turn. Yeah, very, very well drilled team. Enjoy watching them.
Oh, Ngumoa's done well. He's got the beating of Canbo there. No, that's a free kick, is it? It's given against...
They said it was out.
Oh, it's out.
It was ball out on the far side. The assistant referee put his flag up straight away.
Canvo very relieved to see that, actually, because he was hoping that ball would run out of play and thought he had the beating of Ngumoa. I thought that was initially given for the shoulder to shoulder, which would have been very harsh, but Stevens bang on. That is going to be a throw-in for Crystal Palace on the right. They're going to make another couple of changes. Let's check in at Newcastle. This is the 8 o'clock kickoff in the EFL Cup tonight. Newcastle Spurs, Charlie Slater.
An hour gone, Newcastle 2, Spurs 0. A brilliant save a moment ago from Aaron Ramsdale, making only his 2nd appearance for Newcastle, diving down to his left-hand side, strong palm to keep out Sarr's effort. 2-0 Newcastle.
So double change being made by Crystal Palace. Jefferson Lerma comes on, Will Hughes goes off, and 19-year-old Rio Cardines comes on. Only his 2nd appearance for the club, his debut made as a sub against Dynamo Kiev away in the Conference League this season. Still Liverpool 0, Palace 2, just over 15 minutes to play here. What about Swansea, Manchester City, Mike Maine?
We have 14 minutes left to play. Swansea 1, Manchester City 1. Joško Vardiol's just hit one on target from the edge of the box. Andy Fisher in the Swansea goal spilt it, but very quickly latched onto it to catch it at the second time of asking before Phil Foden could get onto it. And Marmoush has just fired Manchester City in front from the right-hand side of the 6-yard box. The angle was tight. He's absolutely leathered it past Andy Fisher, and the Premier League side finally get in front. Long time coming for Manchester City. Swansea City 1, Manchester City 2.
Lovely flowing build-up play from Liverpool here. Ngumoa is on the ball, 3 or 4 step-overs, runs into Cardines, the recent arrival, the 19-year-old for Crystal Palace. He makes the block, and it's gone behind for the Liverpool corner. The other Palace player to come off in that recent double change was Daniel Munoz, so he does get a bit of a breather ahead of the home fixture against Brentford at the weekend. Palace-Brentford in the Premier League. Whole cluster of red-shirted Liverpool players gather to discuss this attacking set piece. Can they get back into the game, score in front of the Kop, and make this interesting? Pace on the delivery into the far post. Chiesa got a touch with his thigh. It went past Gordon, who wasn't really looking. It was.
I think he got a shout. I think he got a shout from Chiesa to leave it, and then Chiesa wasn't sure whether he was going to leave it or whether he was going to take the opportunity, and then it took Chiesa by surprise a little bit.
So Manchester City now 2-1 in front at Swansea. Chelsea only 3-2 up at Wolves. They led 3-0. And Newcastle leading Spurs 2-0. Arsenal leading Brighton 2-0. All those games in the last 16 of the League Cup tonight. The ball played across to the right-hand side for Liverpool. That was Lucky getting involved, but Liverpool have lost it here. And Pino has it. Down by the byline on the left for Crystal Palace. He brings the ball away from that byline to Sosa. He thought about trying to whip across him with his left foot there. Didn't think the angle was on. Lovely little drag push pass from Pino back to Guehi. Pino's used again. Looks to get that right-footed cross in. Blocked by Lucky. Wellety Lucky for Liverpool on his debut. Great name that. And the ball goes out for the throw into Crystal Palace.
How nice is Yeremy Pino to watch?
Oh, yeah.
He is full of little flicks, but often you get players who flick the ball and nothing comes of it. His always lead to creating space or drawing a player out of position. He's such an intelligent footballer.
Yeah, we're on air with you until 10:30 tonight on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and then Tony Livesey will take over. But in the company of Kelly Cates, we'll wrap everything up for you in the EFL Cup ties tonight and all the action in the Scottish Premiership. Big win for Celtic heading their way. Martin O'Neill's return. Throw in for Liverpool. The rain stopped again here. I mean, it came for a couple of minutes there. It was absolutely shucking it down.
It was like you were on a set. Do you know when you go to like a TV studios and they go, right, turn the rain on?
Yeah. Or one of those splash rides at a theme park. Absolutely soaked with the final splash. Liverpool waiting to make another change. 13 minutes to play. Back to the Premier League action this weekend, of course. Our 3 o'clock kickoff comes from the City Ground. Manchester United on a little bit of a roll. Go to Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest. Burnley Arsenal you'll be able to hear on Sports Extra 2. Good game at 5:30 on 5 Live as well. Full commentary of Spurs against Chelsea. There's Lucky for Liverpool, across to Gomez, just short of the halfway line. Liverpool still trying to find a way through. Palace doing everything they can to stop them. Ramsey caught in the back of his left leg by Gahey, and the free kick is given to Liverpool. Stephen Warnock.
Is that what you're going to call them now? Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest, is that what the title is? Not just Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, not always. You do that sometimes. I did that the other night. I think fans get annoyed with that, don't they, Stephen? Because it depends who the manager is. You wouldn't do it with every manager.
Exactly.
So I did it with Jack Wilshere's Luton the other day, and I think that does wind people up, doesn't it? But I think when new managers in, just to remind people, it is a new man in charge. There's the free kick from deep for Liverpool into the penalty area. Drops loose here. Ungamoa thought about a first time hit, didn't quite fall for him. Then he can't find his way past Devaney. The ball is cleared by young Cardines for Crystal Palace, who's a Trinidad and Tobago international. Gomez outside of his right foot plays back into that Liverpool defence. They've given it away, and there's Mateta looking for that ball to release Devaney. He's running away here. What's the referee going to decide? It was Nallo with the challenge for Liverpool. It would have been a one-on-one. It's a red card. Well, that's remarkable. Amaro Nallo was sent off last season on his Liverpool debut for denying a goal-scoring opportunity against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League, and tonight he just wants to pull that shirt up over his head. Liverpool caught out in possession. Palace got them on the break. Devaney was getting away. Nallo's brought him down. Liverpool down to 10 men.
Oh, what a horrible feeling for the youngster. I mean, there's nothing worse than knowing that you've been sent off on your debut. Then there's the next game. You make an error and it leads to another sending off. You do want the ground to swallow you up, and it's such a horrible moment. He just gets the wrong side of him, Devaney. And there's only one thing that's happening. Devaney's going to go to ground, invite that challenge, and Nallo rightly sent off.
So Liverpool down to 10. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Surely heading out of the League Cup tonight. And it'll be a 6th defeat in 7 games for the Premier League champions.
I've just seen Virgil van Dijk walk down the tunnel straight away. He's realised, I've got to walk down.
Oh, Sosa's going to hit one from range. Woodman does well. That came through the wall. That was at pace, straight at him, followed it into the gloves, patted it down and made the save. Yeah, captain's role, got to go and have a word.
Yeah, you have to try and pick the youngster up, because it's a horrible moment for him in his career, isn't it? And it's one that can massively knock your confidence.
Bayern Munich 4-1 up in the German Cup tonight. Harry Kane has added 2 more. Another hat-trick for Harry Kane tonight. Pass forward from Kirkes, overhit into the Palace penalty area.
He's just playing FIFA, isn't he? It is
Kane.
It's an absolutely incredible goal run. And do you know, someone said to me the other day, which I found it really, really interesting, was you remember Messi's season of 91. Harry Kane would have to score something ridiculous like 28 goals in 12 games to match him, and I thought, oh, wow.
Yeah, I've still not got used to these glasses. He's only got 2. Elise's got the other one. Gone early there. But it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Not
as good,
but
it's good.
He'll probably get the hat-trick by the end of the game tonight. Palace waiting to make another change. Liverpool 0, Palace 2. Palace hungry for more silverware under Oliver Glasner. He does not let them rest. He is still going at his players tonight. Up against 10 men now. Big game coming for them in the Premier League on Saturday as well. And he's still on them all the time. good record at Anfield recently as well, Crystal Palace. This will be unbeaten on 4 visits to Anfield. They're awkward opponents, actually. I mean, they are for everyone, but for Liverpool in recent seasons, they have had trouble with Crystal Palace, who are controlling this game, controlling the ball, controlling possession. Lerma's involved. Back to Kamada. Lerma receives it on the turn inside the Liverpool half. Let's remind you of what else is going on in the League Cup tonight. Arsenal 2-0 up on Brighton. Manchester City 2-1 up at Swansea. Chelsea 3-2 up at Wolves, having led 3-0 in that game. And Newcastle Spurs is 2-0 to Newcastle. That one kicked off at 8 o'clock tonight. Here's Devaney, who was the man fouled by Nallo as he was getting away through on goal. Good football. Lerma back to Devaney, cross to Pino. Devaney again, left-footed shot, low and wide of the target. Goal kick for Liverpool.
Yeah, good player, Devaney. I really like him. Whenever I've seen him come on for Crystal Palace, he always has an impact in the game, but he's got that physique. He's tall, but he's built well, athletic, really good use of the ball as well.
So Borna Sosa comes off. Kristantos Uche is coming on for Crystal Palace, and a penalty at Hibs, I'm hearing. Kenny Crawford.
86 minutes gone. Hibs 0, Rangers 1, but Hibs have a penalty. Junior Hoylett, who I mentioned a few minutes ago, wriggled his way into the box and was fouled by Conor Barron. And it's Jamie McGrath, the Republic of Ireland international, who has the responsibility. He's just stepping back just now, up against Jack Butland, and he runs up, and it's saved by Butland. Hibs don't take advantage of it. It's still Hibs 0, Rangers 1.
OK, thank you, Kenny. Kenny will keep us posted tonight. Celtic on their way to a big win against Falkirk. We've had a red card here at Anfield. I'm hearing red card at Molineux tonight as well. Late in the game, Wolves, Chelsea. Lee Blakeman.
And it's been shown to Liam Delap for Chelsea. He's only been on the pitch a few moments. The first yellow was for a shove to a player's face. He was lucky not to get a red for that. Then he's just gone charging late into Agbadou. Second yellow. Chelsea still leading by 1 goal, but down to 10. 4 minutes to go. Wolves 2, Chelsea 3. Delap off.
I think Stephen Warnock might be about to say what I was going to say. That is so many red cards this season for Chelsea, isn't it? They just
absolutely incredible.
Different player every time. Isn't
yeah, very true.
Another goal at St Mirren. This is St Mirren Hearts tonight. Jane Lewis.
This is incredible stuff. The Hearts fans behind the goal are going absolutely crazy with this one. Hearts look to have scored a late winner, and it's Pierre Landry Kabori who scored it. He's come on as a substitute, and it was brilliant play. The ball was kind of pinging around in the area, and he showed absolutely brilliant resistance, stuck a foot out, and he looks, although there is still time left, perhaps to score a very, very big goal for Hearts. The Hearts fans, you can hear them singing. It's St Mirren 2, Hearts 3.
Trent Kone-Doherty waiting to come on for Liverpool as well. Arne Slot is just giving him some final instructions, pats him on the back. He's waiting to get on for Liverpool tonight. Anfield is silent. Fans are drifting out. 6 minutes plus added time remaining. Heading out of the League Cup tonight. Very professional performance from Crystal Palace. 2 goals late in the first half from Ismaila Sarr. And what a performance by Hearts tonight as well, away at St Mirren. Maybe this year could be their year in the Scottish Premiership. Gomez cross to Nioni. Now Kirkes wide on that left-hand side for Liverpool. Back to Nioni. Here's Gomez. Palace still chasing. Gomez sees space deep on the right. Good searching pass as well. Chiesa chases and chases, gets there, just keeps it in play. Tries a little trick into the penalty area. Good feet, left-footed cross. Stooping header away. Falls here to Ramsey, but it hit his hand as he made the challenge. It's going to be a free kick to Crystal Palace. Back to St Mirren. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, the St Mirren fans are now cheering this one because another decision made by the referee after a VAR interjection. That goal that Hearts thought they had scored, the winner, has been ruled off for offside. So no goal, it's still 2-2. What a game.
What a game. Thank you, Jane. Ungamoa, standing ovation for him. Has dazzled again this evening. It's going to be in a losing performance. Trent Kone-Doherty, wearing number 51, comes on for Liverpool. So a very special moment for him tonight as well. And he's going to get 5 minutes or so to see what he can do to try and affect things. And he's taken up station sort of on the left wing in the front three for Liverpool. Now then, another goal at Molineux. Chelsea down to 10. Lee Blakeman.
they've got a fourth, and how. Wolves 2, Chelsea 4. The ball fell to Gittins, 20 yards out, right foot shot, in off the post. It hit both posts actually on its way in. Brilliant way to kill the game surely this time. Wolves 2, Chelsea 4.
Kirkes bombing forward for Liverpool. The pass isn't right. He was looking for Chiesa. Here's Lacroix and Uche exchange a little 1-2. Lacroix still moving forward for Crystal Palace, runs past Pino's, got support on the left-hand side from Devaney. Devaney drives a diagonal pass with his left foot. Endo is in the way. Ball is to Kirkes, lets it run past him. Nearly lost it for Liverpool there. Seems a little bit all over the place. They've got it back to Freddie Woodman. Full-time whistles blown at Celtic. Gavin Wallace.
Yes, Celtic 4, Falkirk now. That is what you call a new manager bounce. A brace from Johnny Kenny, goals from Nygren and Tunekti means that Martin O'Neill pulls the gap back a little bit, just a little bit. 4-0 Celtic.
Yeah, that's right, with St Mirren 2, Hearts 2 at the moment. Here's Pino dribbling, shooting and beating Freddie Woodman and sealing it for Crystal Palace. His first goal for the club, wraps it up nicely on a wet night at Anfield. A totally professional performance from Oliver Glasner's team. 10 changes made by Liverpool, and in the end they have been well beaten. They're heading out of the League Cup. Palace on their way through to the quarter-finals. Liverpool 0, Palace 3.
An all-round outstanding performance from Yeremy Pino. We talked about his touches, his intelligence and the way that he plays the game, and this one he just backs Calvin Ramsey into the penalty area. He pushes him down the left-hand side, then he drops the shoulder onto the right foot, and then he buries it into the bottom corner. It's a really smart finish from Yeremy Pino. Woodman's got no chance of getting anywhere near it.
Yeah, sort of performance that deserved the goal from Yeremy Pino. His first for the club, and you can hear the unwavering support from the Liverpool fans continues to ring around Anfield. You will never walk alone. 6 defeats in 7 games and heading out of the League Cup. Back to Molineux, Lee Blakeman.
Wolves have got another one back. Wolves 3, Chelsea 4. Ball over the top. Found David Muller-Wolfer, who chipped Jorgensen, his second of the game. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time still to go. Chelsea down to 10, and it's Wolves 3, Chelsea 4.
Blimey, what a game that one is. Liverpool 0, Palace 3. So Palace heading through. Arsenal leading Brighton 2-0. They're heading through. Manchester City still 2-1 up at Swansea. Liverpool still coming. There's Kone Doherty over on the left-hand side. He's tackled. Runs to the side of the pitch. Picks the ball up from the cone, sitting just the other side of the touchline. Kirkes delays the throw. And in the end, it's a wet, dispiriting night for Arne Slot and Liverpool, and that's a poor set piece. And now Liverpool are wide open, and Crystal Palace are coming looking for a fourth. Here's Devaney chips one into the penalty area, looking for Mateta. Easy header away for Gomez. Endo gets a touch, then has to stretch and clear with his right foot. Well played from Kone Doherty. He's got speed down the left-hand side. Gets away from Cardines. Chiesa plays it back into the Liverpool half, and he only sees space on the right. Comes wide to Ramsey. That's a poor challenge from Pino. Was already committed to that on the wet pitch. Went clattering into Ramsey. He's hurt him as well. It's going to be a yellow card and a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he's saying he slipped Yeremy Pino, but it did look like a heavy challenge on Ramsey. Ramsey just trying to get himself back up to his feet. He's trying to tell the Liverpool players, Yeremy Pino, it was a slip. I don't think it was. I just think it was reckless. I think it was late. Maybe just seeing it again on the replay. The first one I saw, I didn't think it was. And there was a bigger frame that we saw, and it did look like he did just slightly slip and lose his foot in.
Chiesa gliding forward for Liverpool, looks to slip one into the penalty area for Gordon. 3 minutes of added time, and then Liverpool's misery will be over tonight. Well, Arne Slot rung the changes, has a plan in mind. Big games coming. Villa at home on Saturday, Real Madrid at home next Tuesday in the Champions League. You'll hear that in full here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Gordon's header at the far post is off target and goes behind for the goal kick. And Sunday the 9th of November, we've got full commentary on Liverpool away at Manchester City too. Talking of Manchester City, they're at Swansea tonight. There's been another goal. Mike Maine.
Yeah, Ryan Cherky has rolled it into the bottom right-hand corner, wraps it up for the Premier League side. In his celebration, he managed to give himself cramp, so he's been down on the floor for a few minutes with his legs in the air. But it is Swansea City 1, Manchester City 3.
Sounds like John Akers.
Yeah. Was that during commentary?
Oh, it's superb.
Was that here?
Yeah, it was one of the best moments on radio.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Just waiting for my phone to ping now from him.
Very funny. On the right-hand side for Liverpool is Ramsey. Gordon chests it down. We'll wait to hear what Arne Slot makes of this Liverpool performance tonight. Oliver Glasner will clearly be delighted. That's a foul on Lerma from Endo. Free kick for Palace. Full-time at St Mirren tonight. Been some game there as well. Jane Lewis.
It absolutely has. It finished St Mirren 2, Hearts 2. Hearts still lead the way at the top of the Premiership. That lead has been slightly cut to 6 points because of results elsewhere, of course, but it was a brilliant game. It was Dan Duvio who gave St Mirren a lead. Lawrence Shankland then pounced on a poor clearance in the first half to equalise. It all happened in the second half, really, to be honest with you. Miguel Freckleton with a neat turn and finish put St Mirren ahead. Claudio Braga then got in the action as well, a diving header to grab a big equaliser. Then there was a big call at the end, VAR interjecting again. Pierre Landry Cabori thought he had struck a late winner, but VAR ruled it off, out for offside. Hearts and St Mirren share the spoils. Hearts still top, but the lead slightly cut.
Yeah, that's right. Hearts moved to 26 points. Celtic with their win on 20. And I see that Aberdeen have won 1-0 at Kilmarnock. Motherwell have beaten Dundee United by 2-0. Taking you to Arsenal shortly. The full-time whistle has blown there. Here's Uche for Palace. Can they find a fourth? On his right foot, back onto his left. Hits the shot hard. Gomez gets his body in the way. Here's Gahey. Palace fans scream. Shooty curls it over the bar. It goes behind for the goal kick. So are Arsenal through to the quarterfinals of the League Cup? John Southall.
2, Brighton 0. Brighton better in the first half, missed 3 good chances, then suffered. Wanyeri with a beautifully crafted first goal and Saka with the second. Trossard hit the post late on. So 8 wins on the trot for Arsenal, a 6th clean sheet. They're into the quarters. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
Liverpool out of the League Cup, beaten for the 6th time in 7 games. Referee Craig Pawson brings it to an end tonight. Arne Slot with a much changed Liverpool team, so many of the big names missing. They started pretty well, but they were absolutely no match for Crystal Palace, and Arne Slot is still looking for solutions to this puzzling run of form. Ismail Assar making the big difference, 2 goals just before half-time, and Yeremy Pino wrapping it up late on with his first goal for the club. As soon as we saw the team sheets tonight, Stephen Warner, in fact, you said to me as we walked to the commentary position, you said there's a good chance Crystal Palace could win this game by 2 or 3 goals. They've won it 3-0.
Yeah, I just felt with the sort of the naivety of the team, the inexperience that they might have in the game, and the lack of depth on the bench, it was going to be a difficult game because we know the quality Crystal Palace have. The thing that we were waiting for was what type of team Crystal Palace will put out. They put a strong team out and they dominated the game from around about 20 minutes onwards. They deserved to win the game. They were very, very good, Crystal Palace, and I think the way that they moved the ball in forward positions was just too much for Liverpool to handle, and Liverpool lack that creativity in forward areas.
Tricky times for Arne Slot. He's having to move in at the moment just to remove one of his coaching staff from getting into a bit of an altercation with someone out on the field. So attention switches for Liverpool to the home game against Aston Villa here on Saturday night. They're out of the League Cup. Crystal Palace have never won this competition. They've never been in the final. They're a couple of games away now. Good win for them at Anfield tonight. It's finished Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 3.
And with that big win for Crystal Palace, Alistair Bruce-Ball and Stephen Warnock at Anfield for us. Stephen, there's a lot to get our heads around in terms of that team selection. We will get to how significant the win is for Crystal Palace. But you pointed out right from the beginning when we saw the team selection, so many 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds with very little Premier League experience, not just in the Liverpool starting 11, which we've seen before in previous seasons and under previous managers, but on the bench as well, with no options to bring the big guns on. Was this a risk worth taking?
Well, only time will tell. If they beat Aston Villa, if they beat Real Madrid and they start to turn a corner, then yes. If it isn't and things continue, then Liverpool fans will get a little bit disgruntled. They'll start to ask questions as to why so many changes. they don't make changes for no reason. He spoke about it before the game where he said we rotate within this competition. This is a competition for our younger players, but when you need a victory, this is the ideal time to perhaps try and get it. Maybe he just felt that tonight wasn't the night to try and continue putting his first team players in the squad, and he wanted to work with them on the training pitch to try and get the best out of them, ready for the game at against Aston Villa at home on Saturday.
One of the things that's been mentioned around Liverpool's form for the second half of the beginning of this season is that it looks as though confidence is lacking. What does a result like this do to the confidence, even taking into account the team selection?
I'm not so sure it'll affect them too much. I think, like we spoke before the show, before the game kicked off, I think it just heaps a little bit more pressure on Arne Slot. The questions now, I'm sure, will be, why did you change that? What are you looking for at the weekend? What are you going to try and to achieve? Is there going to be a change of system at the weekend? There's going to be so many more questions asked of Arne Slot, and he'll hope that the performance on Saturday will justify what he's done today. Confidence is huge in football. When you see the way that Liverpool players are playing at the moment, they're second guessing everything that they're doing. Usually it's 1 and 2 touch football because it comes so naturally to you. It becomes a second instinct. At the moment they're questioning every decision that they're making on the football pitch and almost playing negatively, and that's a real issue in football.